And we're live, pal. All right, brother. We about to kick this off a little bit of doggy style.
It's simple.
Yo, 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 yo. It is I, the Most High, and I'm with my tag team partner who will return to the screen in a minute. CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's happening with you, my brother? I know you can't respond right now because you're not here. But oh, my nigga has returned. My nigga
What's
has
good?
returned.
What's good? What's good? Listen, man. I do a little outfit change. You know,
You know,
bringing the
you
new
can't
year
put
with
you
the
can't put no
whites.
you can't put no Jets jersey on this motherfucker. I know
Fuck
that.
that, yo. Don't even start with me with this just shit, man.
Nah,
Don't even
nah, nah,
start
nah,
with me.
nah, nah,
Listen,
nah. We gonna kick this show right. This is I'm a show. This is just like when you
yeah.
playing 2K and a nigga can
Listen,
press X to get your ass in the entrance, nigga.
yo,
Get your ass in the entrance right now,
listen,
nigga.
listen, listen. Time out. First of all, let's listen. Christmas just happened. I'm in good spirits. The New Year's about to be right around the corner. Listen, you want to talk Jets, man? Listen, you've never beaten me in Madden. My little nephew got a
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
PS5.
whoa, whoa,
He
whoa,
got he,
whoa.
he got a PS5. If you want to see that, get some smoke, get another chance on Madden with my Jets, then you could talk some shit. But we're not gonna bully me on a podcast because the Jets are in some down times right now.
Listen, I'm gonna tell everybody right now this. My nigga came to visit me for my birthday, and my gift to him was to send his ass back home with a victory. You know what I'm saying? That was my gift. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, you got that game. You still gotta get that game in. So yeah. Listen, now you
nah,
want the
man.
smoke anytime you can get it, dog. On PS5. You got PS5, right?
Yes, sir. You
All
already
right,
know what
bet.
the
Let's
deal
go.
is. Yo, I'm gonna put, we should put, you know what? So we can everything is wrestling. We're gonna start dropping our PSNs and our Xbox motherfucking names and gamer tags and this motherfucker. Link up with Chidi Bang and the Most High, the Joint Roller Ayatollah. We are on both devices. We on Xbox and PS5. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got a
Oh,
special guest in the arena for the motherfucking end of the year pod. We
yes.
gotta welcome the motherfucking very first listen we ever had to this podcast
Welcome to the
because that
day
nigga was in the
one.
car. That nigga was in the car with me. That's why. We about to bring cousin Rich on. You
What's
know
up,
what I'm
man?
saying? What's
Salute,
happening
Rich.
with you?
Got
You
the
know, I was busting this
NWO
nigga's
shirt
balls,
on,
bro.
yo.
I'm busting this nigga balls one time now for being a Jets fan. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man. I'm not gonna get bullied on this pod. I'm not getting bullied today. Listen, man. Listen, let's not even talk about the Jets right now. I mean, come on.
I'll let you
Listen, don't
live.
worry.
I'll let
But
you live. I'll
yo,
let you. I'll let you live. I'll
what
let you
we
live
Listen,
for
what,
now.
listen.
what we
Let the Bills beat Miami, and we still got like a slim chance to get the playoffs. So we'll see what
Super
happens.
slim.
Yeah,
Slim is an
super slim.
understatement.
Yes, but welcome to the pod, man. We're here. The holidays just happened. How was your holiday, man?
Relaxing.
Good, good. I'm
Relaxing.
glad.
That's it. Real simple, man. It was relaxing, but that's all I want. That's all I care for, man. I
Mhm.
still got to love my loved ones, and I'm in good health. It was relaxing, man. It was all I needed.
Good. Glad to hear it, man. And Chris, you too.
Oh man, that shit was busy as I had kids, nigga.
Every God. That's all you gotta
Nigga,
say. Look at it. My day,
listen.
man. Nigga, I had kids. That's all you gotta
yo,
say.
listen, Chidi about real life, bro. Like this, I know a lot. Again, everybody, when we got into this thing, right, we did not know the community that we was walking into. So a lot of niggas built a relationship off of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Me and my nigga Chidi did, but this my motherfucker brother. You know what I'm saying? And every time my nigga tap in with me and be like, "Yo, man, how you doing, brother? I want to know how." Man, Fuck them kids, nigga. But nigga, I don't know what I'm saying. Nigga, it's the Michael.
Nigga, you
I
need to
am the
get the
Michael
Heath
Jordan
Slater shirt,
meme
yo.
in live in effect right now, my
You
nigga.
should get a permanent like Heath Slater shirt. I got kids. Yo, you gotta shout out to Heath Slater. Yo, that's you, man. So but I mean, hey, that's the holiday. At least they hopefully had a great holiday, the kids. Shout out
Hey,
to you and
better
the
nigga.
family.
Look at my bank account. Shit.
And me, I had a great time here in New York. I got to see family. It was good times. Didn't get many gifts, but I did get like one small thing, which is nice. Us men, we don't really get much. It seems as we get older, unless you got a girl.
It's a man thing, man. Even then, yo. Even
Yeah.
then, I think
Hold
it just
on.
goes away.
I can't disrespect my wife one time. Matter of fact, y'all talk one time. I'll put my wedding ring on, nigga. My woman, you know what I'm saying? She got me VIP tickets to see Spitter and
Yeah.
and West Side Gun. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really complain.
That's dope.
You know.
Yeah. Not all men can be as fortunate as you, Chris, the Most High. But I hope that you guys listeners are having a great holiday time yourself. We're right around the corner from the new year. It is December 29th. We're here to talk wrestling the week that was, but it also the year that was. Today we will be giving out our annual Blackies Award, which was originated back in 2019 or 18, when we were like, listen, there wasn't enough black representation wrestlers. So every year we give up the Blackies, and then now we got the Blackies coming up again this year, but not just for black wrestlers. So there you go. It's just the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast Awards for each year. And we're going to just debate who's the best wrestler, who's the best tag team, what was the best rookie of the year, what was the best return of the year, and what was the controversy. There's a lot of controversies. We'll talk about all that later on in the podcast. But first, we're going to talk about the week that was, like we traditionally do. And there's not much to talk about, but there are two shows that we got to touch on, and that is NXT and AEW. Chris, where you want to take it off with?
Honestly, we're gonna take it off with we're gonna start it off with AEW. They ended the show off. They ended the year off with a banger of a show. And first and foremost, I want to congratulate Tony Khan for his diligence of being a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like an executive and a fan. You know what I'm saying? Because that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? When you get your executive in the way of making decisions, my nigga, it can lead to disaster. Even though you have a cool hit, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Zach Martin, Ezekiel Elliott, right? We make good draft picks, but I'm in the pot too much of how shit's supposed to be ran. You know what I'm saying? Tony Khan, he's a booker. He's a promoter. He writes the storylines. He goes out and he gets the money to put back into the business. He negotiates the contracts with Warner Discovery. You know what I'm saying? Like he out there really putting in the work. He's Paul Heyman-esque. You know what I'm saying? Where Paul Heyman was more business savvy than a fan of pro wrestling. I would give credit to or give credence to. Where Tony Khan just came in straight off the muscle and was like, look, I'm a fan of wrestling. I'm a fan of wrestling and I got some money and I'm going to try to make this shit better. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to say him taking that mindset, and he had bumps and bruises along the way as indie business does clearly, but he ended AEW Dynamite like this week with a banger of a fucking show. You know what I'm saying? Like a banger of a fucking show. Oh, you muted yourself.
I got to hand it to Tony, man. This is the first year he's been tested as I feel like the owner of He's like the grace period is over, the honeymoon period is over. He got some ups and downs throughout the year, and to end the way he did this year, that strong with this performance on the this book show was great. And it's not only a testament to Tony and his booking, but the performers and going out there and doing their job, but how he's setting things up. I like the way the future looking. We can just start off. First of all, the whole show, great wrestling, up and down the entire show.
I just want to also with just what you was just about to say, great wrestling and great performance. And I think here we are, right? Just the sports analogy, right? When we can't really put a finger on a performance of why a performer is really doing good, we give it to coaching. And
yeah.
we can't do that here with wrestling because a lot of wrestlers make a lot of chicken salad, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
True, true.
So with Daniel Bryan, I'm sorry, Bryan Danielson and Ethan Page. I don't know the direction of the storyline of where it's going, but they had a really great match.
Yeah, the storyline was pretty much. We also had when Regal and Jeff took him out. Daniel Bryan obviously is out for revenge, but within that, you got Ethan Page, who's number one in the rankings. Like, listen, I won. I was runner up to Ricky Starks in that tournament. You can't jump the line. So they had their match. Daniel Bryan kicked his head and knocked his ass out and put him in the Regal stretch. Stretched him, and it was a good match. Like one thing I like about AEW, they allow their matches to breathe, and even if you don't think it's gonna be like at a peak level, like a peak level of performance, you can get there. And I think that to the level that they worked with Ethan Page, he did better than I thought he would. Like he's improving a lot more, and he's definitely becoming a person who I believe can handle bigger angles and stuff like that. And this match proved it to me that he can go toe to toe with Bryan Danielson, keep up with the high pace offense and all that stuff. And they had the crowd engaged. So that was a great opener, and you had MJF in the rafters with some woman that's not his fiance, but he's doing his MJF thing. And that was that,
Yo, this nigga got the ultimate babe. It's just wrestling gig. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good ass. He just got engaged, but he's out there with a different girl. But it was cool. They're building this angle between MGF and Daniel Bryan, and I gotta say, like the whole night, the match quality was at a peak level. My favorite match was the second match of the night. It was Top Flight versus the Blackpool Combat Club. And,
let's get into it.
You had Cesaro and Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley versus Top Flight, which I'm telling you, Top Flight, they are really, really impressing me. They are becoming one of my favorite tag teams in AEW because they're not that they're not. Yeah, they're high flying and all that offense and all that stuff, but they can tussle, they can box, So Dante Martin a couple of weeks ago with Jon Moxley in a good match, and not Dante, Damian or
no Darius.
Listen, Darius Martin and Jon Moxley put on a great performance, and then Dante, who I think is like Spider-Man doing his crazy ass shit.
And also I want to show love to Darius because. Here we go, sports analogy again, but I won't use football this time. I'll use basketball. Right? We look at Klay Thompson, and a lot of niggas is looking at Klay Thompson like, we need you to score 25 points. I'm like, brother, I ripped my fucking knee, and I tore my Achilles, and back to back off, in a span of 14 months.
Yeah,
15, and now I'm back competing against the world's greatest talents who got some of the most fast twitch fucking fiber in the world. And you guys want me to be back when
keep
I was
up, right?
years ago. Darius.
He had an injury and then a car accident right after that.
A car accident. Bruh, and my nigga's right back his brother in the tag team, and again, we're talking about giving praise to the performers, right? The adaptability of hey, I'm Top Flight, but I ain't really got you're right. We see it with Seth Rollins, right? It took him a minute for him to get that confidence back in that knee, confidence back to what I can do. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing him adjust his style and his ring, and he got to knock a little bit of ring rust off. But this nigga been putting on some bangers since he came back.
He has. And I want to give a props to Jon Moxley and Claudio because they didn't treat him like slouches. They really did make them look like stars. He kicked out of Claudio's finisher, whatever that neutralizer.
I think they call it the neutralizer. I think they still call it the neutralizer.
Yeah, the neutralizer. Yeah, so he kicked out of that. Darius was shown to be he wasn't gonna go down. He wasn't gonna take no for an answer until the last few minutes where he just had to get hit with the a uppercut, a Cesaro uppercut. But the entire match from top to beginning to end, it looked like the one guys are one tag team was the more physical one, and like the more veteran tag team. But at the same time, you looked at these guys in Top Flight like they ain't no slouches. Which obviously by size and by the legacy of Moxley and Claudio, we all know what they do. Blackpool Combat Club violence. You thought they're gonna wash these kids, but nah, it was like a long drawn out event, and move for move, they were keeping up. So shout out to them. That was my match of the night. But yeah, you want to talk about the ending of the show, or do you want to talk about something in between? Because
I think I gotta just notch on everything. And one of the things that is a part of Blackies now is best produced pay-per-view or best produced PLE, well, for both companies. And means the show that has the least amount of skips, right? And I think this was one of the best produced shows of the year. It wasn't a lot of skips that I can just say like, yeah, I can hop around. I'm gonna give shout out to the Lucha Bros and Death Triangle, just call them Death Triangle versus the Elite. They have managed to scrounge up what they fucked up. You know what I'm saying? They were the first ever trios title winners, and then suspended right after that. Death Triangle picked up the slack as the vacancy of the championships and been holding it down ever since, been making other trios look like they belong. Like Death Triangle has really been fucking putting it on the map. And now that the Elite is back, they got into the series of matches where they've had 6 matches. Last night was their 6th match, and each match was a different kind of stipulation. So I do want to give a shout out to them having just a chaotic ass street fight on a random ass win. Well, not random. It's the last Wednesday. It's a bang again. A bang. We went out with a bang. So I want to get that street fight. That was really good because that's going to lead to a ladder match, a 6-man ladder match with these crazy motherfuckers, right?
Yeah,
a 6-man ladder match with these crazy.
That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Niggas,
I'm glad that we're getting. Yeah, I'm glad that we're. Here's the thing: like with these guys, Penta, Phoenix, Pac, the Young Bucks, and Kenny, they have a history that goes back well beyond the inception of AEW. Even and obviously they like to wrestle each other because if you look at the past 3 years of AEW, they've constantly faced each other over the time of their span there. Like there's always a few going on between the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros, or between Pac and Kenny at some point. They both have victories over each other throughout the entire time. So it's a long tenured feud, and they both of the teams they work well together. They actually like working together. They have unique ways of working together. So this is becoming, a very good performance from them each week after week. One thing I will say though is it's almost looking like predictable. I know they want to put the title back on the Elite, but I don't like the predictability of some things sometimes where we already assume that they're gonna make a comeback and just and reclaim the titles they never lost. Let's let that triangle hold it a little longer. Let them hold their dominance over the division to some degree and show until another team prove that they are, good enough. I think that granted the Elite are, but I don't think just throwing the titles back on them is the best idea. I like what Death Challenge has put together. I like what they were doing before the Elite came back. So the matches were great. The matches are still good, but if you're coming down to the game 7, or the match 7, whatever you want to say, I need the Death Triangle to like pull it out and like not give us the good old swan song. Okay, they got suspended, now they're back in the champion again.
This goes back to business and logic, which is nothing we talked about. But this will go back to where's the ego of these guys, right? And I know I got on Punk. You know what I'm saying? I'll get on the Bucks and Kenny too. Like, shout out to you sending me that thing about Dion and Prime, right? And management. He talked about the M and the M and Prime stands for management. He had an acronym for that. and people are thrust into management who've never been managers ever. You know what I'm saying? And right now we see that all types of businesses. I just saw a TikTok about how the restaurant industry is just filled with people who just got money and want to make money, right? They're not chefs. They're not in the line of their customer service, or they just right. You just end up being a manager over some shit and don't even know how to manage no shit. You know what I'm saying? So I bring that up to say this. Kenny, the Bucks, Paige, Cody, Khan, right? They all have had their mismanagements while being managers. You know what I'm saying? And right now, Kenny and the Bucks have a really delicate situation where they can change the narrative about themselves with just a simple decision. Do we hold titles or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, Kenny, you already been the belt collector. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nick and Matt Jackson already accomplished being the first ever AEW tag team champions, and or whatnot. No, they weren't first ever. I'm sorry.
First ever twice, 2 times.
Yeah, she was the first guy, and was there, but exactly.
Yeah.
But
do you guys need titles to be relevant? No, they don't.
You don't. And honestly, listen, if you the boss, do you take the biggest slice of the pie? You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people, we see a lot of management, right? I'll take my management salary and I'll disperse it amongst those. You know what I'm saying? So I think like this is a little like I don't know.
I wonder as EVP what their role has evolved into now. Like I wonder what they really actually are doing as EVP, and does it pertain to the day-to-day runnings of these shows? Because I don't know what the EVP is doing. I just be honest with you, I don't know what the responsibility is. Now I do know that does come with power though, so I do think that they should take a step back. Kenny's doing this thing in New Japan next month in Wrestle Kingdom with Will Ospreay, probably gonna be a banger. Let him go do that thing. The Young Bucks still have history with FTR, still have history with all the tag teams.
I think that should be the FTR swan song, right? I think FTR is leaving.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second.
Okay, man, let's roll into it.
Let's roll into it. There's a rumor that FTR is leaving AEW.
Say yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I will say this.
Oh, it's true.
It's damn true.
It's
damn true.
But I will say this: Dax Harwood, which I really like this guy. Dax, he's he put out a little statement about the whole CM Punk situation. And Young Bucks, I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but I'll read it to you. I gotta hear it right now.
He says, hold on, before you say it, he pretty much paraphrased said, "That's my nigga."
What he said was, it's more than that though. It's deeper than that. He said, "I feel that AEW should have the Young Bucks in the locker room. I feel that AEW should have Kenny Omega in the locker room. I feel AEW should have CM Punk in the locker room. With those 4 entities, it makes our talent roster so much deeper." He said, "Our talent roster," means that he claims them. "It's 4 guys who wants to be the best. Regardless of what any of us think personally, I know that we all want to be the best, and I know we all want the best for professional wrestling. It's given us a life we could never have otherwise. This is my plea for all 4 guys. Please find a way to make it work. If we can make it work, we can set up the future of professional wrestling for a long time, and we can change the course of professional wrestling for a very long time. When you think about it, unselfishly, we're doing this for 20, 30 years down the road, guys, so guys and girls can make a living." That's from Dax Harwood of FTR. And that statement right there doesn't just say that's my nigga to me. It just says to me that he believes in a vision that's beyond just him in AEW. He believes in a vision of changing professional wrestling for generations and keeping that going, and that was released like a day or 2 ago, So I don't know, are they leaving or not? Because if you're leaving that comment, about the future of professional wrestling and them making it work, then in my mind, you would not go back to WWE. You wouldn't like leave where you think that you could change the business, right? If you really want to believe in that purpose.
Well, I would say this, and I'll let Rich comment right after I say this, because he hasn't really said much.
Yeah. Have you watched AEW, Rich?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But this current topic, I've been kind of watching on social. So
Bet.
Now, I'll just say this in regards to what Dak is saying. I mean, look at the legacy he's already leaving. You know what I'm saying? So he understands what and where he's at in the current present day of history, right? So I will say that is not beyond him, right? He really held 3 championships and 3 different fucking, like, Kenny has done it, Ultimo Dragon done, Dan Severn has done it, right? Like there's not really, right? When we talk about basketball, like it's always gonna be Wilt and Elgin Baylor somewhere in the motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, like there's no other people that really they've done, you know what I'm saying? So I think for one, he does see the vision and he does believe in the vision, because again, we talked about it again. Nick, Matt, Kenny were all influential, along with Tony Khan with that checkbook, in bringing CM Punk back into professional wrestling. Not only was the fact that an admirer of him was there as well, right? So when CM Punk is literally, like, I never discredited CM Punk watching matches and helping younger talent, right? FTR, right? I think they look up to having and want CM there. My thing is, again, we're talking about egos now, right? CM Punk believes that he is the biggest name at roster because he is indeed the biggest name on that roster, right? Right, and that goes back to like sports again. LeBron James had to concede that he was the biggest name on Miami Heat to not be the high-paid player on the Miami Heat, because he had to surround himself so he can be an actual champion, which is why he came to the Miami Heat. So going back to CM Punk, he didn't have to be champion to elevate Darby Allin. He didn't have to be champion to elevate MJF, which he did. And he did elevate those talents. Now comes the ego portion of like, all right, now I need my just due. Now I need to be, I haven't been champion for over 8 years. The story's told. No, you are there to help build the legacy of this company. And I think that has always been a disconnect, because here we go, egos, right? I don't know Nick and Matt and Kenny's ego, but I can guarantee them, like, hold on. I'm not fucking AEW champion right now. I'm not AEW World Tag Team champion. Right? I'm not putting myself in a position as Booker, man, and as powerful as I am to implement myself and to walk around like I got the biggest dick in here, because no matter what CM Punk think his name is, his name value does not indicate or equivalent to the power that he has, right? And I think that's where that's a disconnect where we say, does the man make the title, or does the title make the man? Right? I think the title of being the man who CM is making the man who CM Punk is, which I think is not great to be around if you're trying to build a cohesive unit around that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he's a center point. And like, they brought him back so they beam off of that. You know what I mean? To beam.
And I hear, and I completely understand that. And we'll get into that a little bit later, because I got a lot to say about CM Punk in the controversy of the year section. But Rich, before you go, this is about Dax and FTR leaving or not. Like, are they saying here that they're going to turn their back on the vision of what he just spoke about, of, like, you know, making it better and being unselfish? Because you talk about ego. He said unselfishly. You know, that was a key word he used. So where do you stand on that?
Man, Chris said everything that I was already thinking, and he just put it real eloquent. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, just to answer that question, I don't because of the fact that everything lies on the egos of these men. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of that main component, I don't see he's dead in the water. Like, he could be as unselfish as he wants to be, but if all involved parties are sitting there, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
nigga, they not going nowhere. They dead in the water. He's out of here. He is out of here. You looking at CM Punk to come back to the table like, hey guys, you know, nigga, that shit ain't happening. That shit ain't happening. Just like Chris said, we don't know these guys from a can of paint, but I know enough about CM Punk to
Bro,
where
that nigga left
his
wrestling for
ego,
7 years, nigga, because he
nigga,
got an ego, cuz. Like,
nigga,
you know
the
what
way
I'm saying?
the CM Punk whole attitude about the whole thing is, nigga, I am wrestling.
Damn.
Damn AEW. I am wrestling. I am him. You talk about professional wrestling, it's me. It ain't The Rock. It ain't Ric Flair. It ain't FTR. It ain't none of you. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
And that's real too, because and look at
So
his,
you think that plays into Dax leaving because
Absolutely.
yes,
there's no
yes,
way
Absolutely.
of
because
putting it
Because it's never that one piece of the puzzle is never
and
going to be put
the
into
only
the
reason
puzzle.
why I say and the only reason why I say that too, not to cut you off, and I apologize. And like I said, I'm
No,
gonna
you
put my
good.
mic down. I think the reason why, like Cuz said, because CM Punk won't put his ego aside, it will force a man to make a man's decision on what he got to do.
Mhm.
And if that checkbook is like, you know what I'm saying, or if they built their cachet up to where they go back to the biggest fucking stage there is, and now we get FTR Usos, FTR Street Profits, FTR, like we really get some FTR New Day, like it really gets like bangers, because what hurt them the first time was injury. Like it wasn't nothing else. Like what
Right.
caused them not to,
It wasn't because they
it
wasn't on the
wasn't
program. It
it, it,
wasn't none
it
of that.
wasn't it, they just wasn't available.
Yeah.
And it
Mhm.
fucked tag team wrestling. You care about tag team wrestling, Chidi? They was gonna put it in them niggas' hands. They was gonna be the
Listen, man.
revival of
Hey,
tag
listen.
team wrestling, man. And
I'll
they
be the
just
first to say.
stay healthy, bruh.
Listen, I'll be the first to say. You come back to WWE, I'm with it. We're about to get DIY back too. We're about to get the New Day back. You know, we're about to get freaking you know, Usos, all that stuff. You know, you can work with Legato, you can work with Imperium. Listen, but with this story and that statement, because I just read into the tea leaves, like it seems to me that he sees deeper than just, you know, him going and getting a bag in WWE, or him, you know, staying in AEW just for CM Punk's sake. You know, like I think that CM Punk is not the one, is
Well,
not the man.
what else legacy can he build in AEW as
It's not about him. The legacy is to build AEW so that other people can have a place to continue to make money. Maybe in the long run he doesn't see himself as a part of that. I don't know, but
Well,
he did
let's
say
I
that
don't. Well,
it makes our roster better.
I don't have a debate with any of that. I think not only is that correct, as far as reading his sentiment, but I feel like it's super valid, right? But being the Martin Luther King of 2022 for World Wrestling ain't it's just not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if he's basing the success of the entire industry on a certain man and his ego, it's just not gonna happen. You basing it off of the next man. I'm unselfish, but I need you to come back to the. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's just not gonna happen.
I
As
wonder.
much as I adore it, and I'm like, man, I applaud it.
Yeah, I don't think CM
Reality
Punk's coming back
is,
either. I don't think he's coming back either. I think
it's
that
over
that's what he
with.
would like.
but I also
But I'm
but I
curious
also
about FTR. Is it does
but
that,
that's
because
what I but
when
that's
you
what I
have that vision, like when you have that mindset of like, I want to keep talent in AEW so that there's better for the
no.
professional wrestling is better.
I don't think
Even just forget about CM Punk. He said just
I don't think
the
that though.
roster.
I don't think that though. I
Okay.
will say this. He and his partner Cash have laid the blueprint and the foundation of you can do what the fuck you want in this business. You okay, you do business how you do business. You honor contracts because a nigga pay you. But at the end of the day, my nigga, you do what the fuck you want in this business. You know what I'm saying? And they did that. They weren't happy in WWE. They did what they did with NXT. They came up to the main roster with expectations. Things happened. They got released. They weren't happy. And when they left with an agenda to let niggas know that what happened there was a fluke on who the fuck we are. And they've done it. They've exceeded expectations with that. You know what I'm saying? Bangers with Young Bucks, bangers with the Briscoes, went down to fucking AAA and put their names on the map in Mexico, went to fucking New Japan and put their names on and solidified themselves as like them niggas really ranked up and got 4 different fucking promotion championships. Real modern day Legion of Doom, Steiner Brothers type shit. So them coming back to the WWE is nothing that the Steiner Brothers and Legion of Doom haven't done before, right? They went and made their bag in New Japan, went to WCW, went to ECW, the fucking All Japan nigga, and then came back and got that big ass WrestleMania SummerSlam bag because that's where the fucking money is always gonna be at. No matter who the competition is, no matter what type of AFL, motherfucking FL, don't matter what fucking competition, just play ball to get to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Niggas into professional wrestling to be at wrestling. They don't give a fuck what niggas tell you right now, AEW, cuz niggas want to get to WrestleMania because that's what the fuck you came into wrestling for. You know what I'm saying? Fuck a Starrcade, nigga. I put my life on it. Ain't nobody getting arrested until I want to be in Starrcade, nigga. Nigga.
Can't wait for my Starrcade debut, man. Listen,
Hey, shout
I
out to
feel you.
Starrcade, man. My
Shout
nigga just shat on
I
Starrcade.
know,
My nigga just took a big shit on Starrcade. Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Vader and Flair, nigga. But I guarantee
Straight up.
nobody getting arrested because of Vader and Flair, nigga.
Yeah, don't be hanging on Starrcade, got legendaries. But now I feel both of you guys on it. I see where you guys are coming from, and I just thought it was interesting because a lot of people preach shit and then they go do something completely. Look at Cody Rhodes. You preach it and then you go do the complete opposite. You know.
Hold on. You know what? Fucking Blackie's right, motherfucking now, nigga.
Yeah, get to it. Get to it.
Wait. What you gonna go to right now? Because I mean, real quick. Wrap up AEW and NXT real quick.
Real quick.
AEW, shout out to the woman. The tag team match was great. I love that.
Yes, thank you. Yo, okay. So we talked about it a little bit on the phone, so we got to bring it up right here. All right, so I love me some motherfucking Willow because my wife thinks, I don't know why she thinks I'm a little nigga. I like little bitches. Like, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like, what you talking about, nigga? Will, I need me some motherfucking
Yo, I'll be honest. Yo, Willow has a vibe to her. She seems like just like the ultimate baby face. She has a great smile. So yeah, I see the appeal. Put it that way.
Yeah, she's her. So Willow and Ruby is we talk about men being in ragtag, makeshift tag teams and shit like that, and how it just don't make no sense or whatever the case may be. But it like Goldust and Booker T, right? And I'm not comparing them to, but like it didn't make no fucking sense.
It worked.
0 sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it was great. I love that shit.
So I'm looking at Willow Ruby. It just didn't necessarily make sense because Willow wouldn't be the person that kind of helps Ruby out because Ruby also is an outcast. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
Willow is a person that sees somebody in need and is like, "Yo, do you need?"
Let me be your friend. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
So it works. But I had a theory that I want to see Ruby turn on Willow and like that be something that can be a secondary or a third feud because Ruby just can't get over Anna Jay and Ty Conti and aggravated because this bubbly Willow's just around her and that's just not her vibe and she just snaps on Willow and now we got Willow and Ruby. I would like that, but you brought up something that you would like Ruby to do and go ahead and bring that to the people and Rich right here on the pod.
Yeah, man. I believe that like I think that Ruby Soho could have a great feud with as a babyface with Athena on ROH. I do think that they can be having some bangers, honestly. They both can get physical in the ring. I want to see them link up. But I mean, we didn't get to really see them go like that in WWE. So this is an opportunity to see them really have a angle around the championship, nonetheless. Now, I want to, her and Willow can do their thing as well because I think that is they're building that odd couple, relationship where she's trying to help out. Ruby's like, listen, I'm all business. I'm an outcast. I don't need no help. But, she's trying to do a fist bump. Ruby just ignores her. She bumps herself. It's a little interactions like that keeps some chemistry with the tag team. But it can lead to, a few down the line. But in the meantime, ROH gotta have some women involved, and I think Ruby Soho is perfect for that division right now. So that's my idea of it. Now
I'm
we
not gonna
might.
hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. And I love that because I love Ruby as a baby or a heel. I think she's one of those rare talents that can really execute on both things. I would love for Deonna Purrazzo to make her way
Oh, okay.
into the AEW ROH bubble and the Virtuoso come after her ROH Women's title against Athena. I think that will be just pure straight women's wrestling, just like who's the fucking best. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I think that would be pretty fucking dope to have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know where Serena Deeb went, but she was one of my favorite women in the division. They got to bring her back. I don't know where she went, but yeah, she was getting busy until she, that fate or Mercedes Martinez lost to her, and I haven't seen her since. But anyways, moving on to the main event. I mean, next week we got Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. That should be good. Swerve and we and Mogul Mogul.
No, Willer Yuta, brother.
So, yeah, but I was gonna say the stable name
Oh,
Mogul
Mogul affiliates.
Mogul
Mogul
affiliates.
affiliates.
Yeah, is doing their thing. They're doing their promos. Where we'll be facing Willow
Oh,
Uter. Willow Uter, yo, you need some work with your promos, bro. Like I know you're part of the Blackpool Comic Club. We need some bass in that voice, bro. We need some bass because we ain't buying that shit. But we're gonna see him and Wheeler. Maybe that maybe he then competes for the ROH, pure championship, which I would love to see Swerve and Yuta, or Swerve get the championship off of Yuta, that'd be dope. Then the main event was the match I've been waiting for, one-on-one Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. I've been saying that for a
It was
while.
tainted though, cuz it was
Exactly,
tainted. It
and I
was
just had
tainted.
to, get to it. He injured him before the match, hit him with a pipe, hit him in the knee, and then the whole match was tainted. And Wardlow was selling this. Now I say this to say, I love Samoa Joe. He's TNT champion, he's television champion, he's the king of television. He says on both brands, ROH and AEW. If you're building Samoa Joe as a heel, cool. But what I feel like right now is that they just fucking killed Wardlow. Like they killed all the momentum of this guy. Like I can't see him as world champion anytime soon because you know what happened? You know who he got saved by? Because Samoa Joe after the match, after beating him, beating him, not clean because he attacked him before the match. After beating him, choking him out, not like he used a chair, nothing in the match. He choked the nigga out in the middle of the ring. After that, Wardlow's limping. He's trying to get up. The
Darby
referee helps him
fucking
up.
Allen. Darby
Yes,
little
little ass
Darby
Darby Allen
Darby
comes
Allen,
out to
man.
save Wardlow. Now I'm a
oh,
fan of Darby. He's a great. But now we're
yeah,
building a
that ain't
Samoa
it,
Joe
man. That ain't
Darby
it.
angle, and I'm like, yo, y'all look like Wardlow looks like a fucking chump. Wardlow, your main your homegrown main monster on your fucking roster, just got bitched out by Samoa Joe, choked out. Then after he got up, got knocked over the head with the title. Like, get back down there, nigga. And then Darby has to come out there and save you. Like that was a bad look. So you said they ended off the year very in a great way. I agree, it was a great show, but I don't know if you're sacrificing one of your biggest potential stars for a star that's on the decline in
No,
Samoa
no, no,
Joe.
no, no. I will say this. I would say we gotta pump our brakes. If we are talking about who has the most potential to make them niggas some money and cross over and be a star, it's Darby.
He's been TNT champion, and he is making money.
I understand. I understand that, but this is what I'm saying. Just think about this. Darby Allin was TNT champion during a time in the infancy stage of AEW when they gave him the title, and we really didn't know or understand, or like he didn't have the cachet of Darby Allin that he does. And I'm just saying, from 2019 to 2000, going into 2023, which we about to go into, that's 3 years of equity that has been built up with Darby Allin. And also, the nigga has been seen with the legendary Sting for the past year. So I do believe that, right? Yeah, so I do believe right now, Darby is, without a shadow of a doubt, in a better situation to kind of, and also this too. I gave credit to Tony Khan. I would do this well. I don't believe Tony Khan had a vision for Wardlow with the TNT Championship, but
not only that, Rich, he cut his hair too. Samoa Joe cut Wardlow's hair. Like, you completely bitched him out, and then Darby came for a save.
No, I would say this. We don't know what this. I would say this. We don't know if, again, the hair cutting is going to do anything that make Wardlow a little bit more menacing. Because right now,
but my point is this though: you have to choke
you
out.
take away anybody's hair, nigga.
Hold on.
Yo.
Edge cut off Kurt Angle's hair, my nigga, and that nigga Kurt Angle became the wrestling machine.
Yeah, and you're right.
We can also kind of agree that from the beginning, whether he continued to flip and flop between heel and face, like it was always like, yo, we gonna make this gold Olympian the face. Like that was always kind of the goal. So again, when you're talking about somebody like a Wardlow, you take away a nigga hair, nigga. That's like Edge coming back today and all his hair is gone.
Hold on.
You know what happened?
You didn't take away his muscle.
You took away his hair.
You still, but this is the same as the muscle, bro. If Braun come back and this shit is gone, it's over, nigga. You can't take away a big man's facial hair and his hair. Like that adds to the image, bro.
You know what's
even worse? Like it's not taking away from the muscles, but it takes away from the whole machismo, nigga. Like
I would say this.
Put this nigga on Pee Wee Herman now.
Hold on.
Wait. Wardlow, let me break it down for you. It's not only just that, because like Angle lost his hair in a hair versus hair match. It was part of the Angle, and he was a heel. Listen, he's losing his hair as a baby face. He's losing his hair after he got bitched out in backstage. Then he came to the ring to fight. Samoa Joe choked him out. After he got choked out, he got up. Samoa Joe knocked him out with a belt. After he got knocked out with the belt, he cut his hair off. Wardlow got no burn the entire night.
That's not getting. Hold on. I would say this. That's not getting bitched out, because I would say yes. Him losing his hair, quote unquote.
Bad luck, that's what I'm saying.
Him losing his hair for no reason, I can understand that, because the hose was bad. Okay, the hose was upset. Listen.
Nigga, rightfully so, nigga. You cut the hair, nigga.
But I
hey, nigga, what did your wife do when you came here with your haircut?
Hold on, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. Hold on, Rich. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You never know how handsome a motherfucker is with a haircut, nigga.
Yo, we'll see. But more than the image of, like, his hair and all that stuff, it's like one thing after another. It's like, this is one of your biggest built up guys, and in one night you lose all the teeth in Wardlow by chopping them out. So brutally though. The way that they did it was brutal.
I would say
just to add to everything real quick, because I see both sides of y'all agree of y'all conversation, but it couldn't have been another way to interject Darby for the sake of what you're trying to prove, Chris. It's like
yes. So this is it's a story being told here, right?
Of course,
Samoa Joe has done dastardly bitch ass tactics, right? So when you say he bitched out Wardlow, he didn't bitch out Wardlow. he attacked Warlow behind his back with a lead pipe, and
in
like,
his
I don't
face,
know
too.
how you did. Okay, you defend yourself with a lead pipe, GD, and see if somebody.
No,
you like
listen,
somebody say that
listen,
you
listen.
got
I'm
beat
talking
out,
about, listen,
my
the
nigga.
lead pipe I had no problem with, you know? You go into the match, you lose getting choked out by a big ass dude, muscles, choked out, boom. All right, boom. Small Joe wins. After that, Small Joe waits in the ring. He's like it's like looking like he's about to show sign of respect, like, oh, you gave a good fight. Dude hits him out with a freaking title right after that. And it's face to face, knocks him out with a title. Like the world didn't even block nothing, just took it. Right after that, rolls on the ground. He gets scissors, cuts the nigga's hair off. And you know who has to come save him? Little ass Darby Allin of all people. Like everything stacked together looks bad. Not like one thing.
Right. I understand, but I think this too. So if we're following, and I'm not trying to give excuses because this is what I would do for WWE because I've done it for WWE.
If I was Warlow, I'll be mad. I would be honest. I'll be
yes,
like, yeah,
WWE, Vince would never.
But Rich,
Vince would never.
That's the point. But that's the point. He said if I was Warlow, I would be mad.
Right.
Warlow should be on a war path now. Right.
But he can't with the baby with the baldy. He can't.
Yeah, no,
he can't. The image is gone. The image is gone.
You can't.
I'm just giving blowback. I'm listening, but I'm giving blowback.
No, you can't say that the image is gone because first of all, you don't know what he looks like with his hair cut. And second of all, if Warlow comes out and he beats the shit out of somebody, nigga, I don't give a fuck what he got on, nigga. Like he don't
That's
give
a
a fuck.
lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
He got to beat the shit out of Samoa Joe.
I agree with you, but
okay, so listen. Luchasaurus got beat by Jack Perry, my nigga. If Luchasaurus come back and on shit, he's just on shit. Because he's 6'9" and he's on shit. Like you don't certainly lose credibility.
Luchasaurus was a heel too. Like, you know, when an underdog babyface beats a big monster, doesn't look as bad as a monster getting destroyed as a face.
But a monster, you're talking about a story. It's a wounded monster that didn't back down from a battle and lost to a more vicious, more healthy monster in the fight. Now, it ain't like Warlow didn't have a competitive match, bro. It was like, nigga, he did a swan sign, nigga. He powerbound them off the top rope. We thought we was going to get
Warlow's that dude, man. Like, when he did that, like, twirling, like, what was it, Whisper in the Wind? I was like, oh, shit.
So for the sake of storyline, because everything you're saying is valid, but for the sake of storyline, to me, that sounds like Wardlow needs to sit down for a second. And when that nigga come back, when that nigga come back in the 2-3 month pan, now this nigga come back looking like a wild lion.
Yeah,
but nigga, he can't come back with no fucking baldy, bro. Because I'm sorry, I can agree to disagree. The optic,
he didn't buzz cut him.
Still, is prevalent.
He didn't buzz cut him. He just cut the excess ponytail off.
But that's all the same, and I can't think of it. But the few times where it's happening in WWE, where a nigga might chop a nigga ponytail off, nigga, that's making a statement. Even if that guy put up an amazing fight, oh man, Shawn Michaels did great, whoever. But you cut this nigga's ponytail off, that sends another message like, yo, I just emasculated your man in the locker room. The beast is gone. I'm here. So yes, optics is still everything. So again, if you're telling that story, he gotta sit down for a second and let that be for real.
Oh, Rich, this is the story. His Samsung strength isn't in his hair. That's the story, right? Warlow. I hear you. Sit down for a second. Yes. He has to come back. You know what I'm saying? I get you. Sit down for a second. Samoa Joe and Darby Allin is in a match next week. He don't need to be involved or whatever the case may be. But I think that when you see Wardlow next, whether it's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think he comes back in LA, right? You come back in 2 weeks, January 11th in LA, my nigga. Like Wardlow comes back with a motherfucking dope ass mohawk or monster ass mohawk or some shit like that, nigga. Still jacked, still motherfucking ripped, still got that power, nigga. You ain't lose shit with that nigga if he come at Samoa Joe's throat. And
he needs to destroy Samoa Joe. That's what I need. That's the only way you redeem yourself.
But yes,
you got to destroy him. That same dude that cut your hair.
But this is my point. Hold on, let me land. Wardlow. This is my landing point, and I'm sorry for yelling.
No, you good. You good.
Yeah, you good.
Wardlow was never meant to have this momentum as the TNT champion.
Get out of
Because
here.
How did we book him? It's Wardlow's momentum, his monstrous and his momentum going after MJF. That is the that is the
That makes it
only
even
title.
worse to me. I think that.
But let me give a rebuttal to that. Because how many times have we seen somebody gain momentum and then a few months down the line, we're like, damn, what happened to Rusev? Or damn, what happened to Cesaro when he was with the... It was like, yo, when they get the momentum, and Kofi Kingston, I think, is the perfect example, or Daniel Bryan when he had his run, it's like, yo, when they got that momentum, even though it wasn't planned, nigga, that helps the business if you ride that wave, don't it? Like, you ain't necessarily got to curb your plans for Darby, but nigga, ride that wave and kind of see where it go. Because in most cases, and let me land also, because in most cases, you might not even necessarily have to put the strap on them, but ride the momentum, right?
You're right.
Because that's what we've been saying that forever.
But that's what they did, though. That's what they did, and that's how he ended up with the TNT strap, right? They rode the momentum. He got the contract from MJF. MJF wasn't quite champion yet, so they couldn't really go into a feud. And even with remember TD, right? He came and cut that promo, and CM Punk was injured, and they was talking about interim champions. And that nigga said, I don't want the when I want a championship, I want the fucking man, right? So he really already, when he won that TNT title, it was already secondary from jump.
Listen, I'm not saying that they can't like change this up and rehabilitate the image of Wardlow after what we just witnessed, but I'm saying that Wardlow has never looked weaker in any performance in AEW since other than that moment.
Because both of y'all points, with that being said, both y'all points can be true at the same time.
Yeah, it can.
Chris, your storyline can remain true with our fandom, with our optic of what's going on, of the story currently being told. Like, damn, this nigga look weak, but that can still be part of that story.
It has to be.
That can still be part of that story. Because again, those of us that liked Wardlow, that's exactly what we thinking. We're like, oh my god, this nigga looks super weak. Oh, you let this nigga cut your hair off. Oh, Darby couldn't come out quicker. Oh man, like, so both can still be true. I think both can still be true. But I really do hope. I really do hope that they sit him down for a few weeks. He ain't gotta retaliate right away. Man, I get that like a solid month or two to ice over.
Yeah, I would give him like
get that some real time to like for a nigga to forget that even happened. Like, oh shit, like let that shit freeze over for a second. You can get that some real time and bring it back.
And he has to go right after Samoa Joe. You can have Darby. You can have him drop it to Darby. I don't care if the TNT champion goes to Darby. Make your money, whatever the word is. He has to come back and take Samoa Joe's head off. It has to be some kind of crazy ass match.
Joe ass without the title being involved. Absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
Get his credible cred back, and then you can go after some more main event players like MJF and see like, yo, I'm after your ass too. So like, yeah, but we gotta see what they do because they fucked shit up in the past. We'll see where they go with this. You know. Anyways, that's gonna put a wrap on AEW. NXT, not too much to talk about here, but I do want to give a huge shout out to Wesley, our brother. He honestly is one of the highlights of NXT each and every single week. That backflip finisher kick to the back of the neck, I love that shit. And that match, and you put out Tony D'Angelo, which I'm not a big fan of him personally, but I'm glad we got to see Wesley end the year. Listen, man, we started the year with Wesley. I remember before I moved, we talked to Dez like, yo, dude, you got a future, man. You're going to be champ. And at the end of the year, he's ending 2022 as NXT North American champion. He's one of the highlights of the year of 2020. Respect and shout out to our brother Dez and Wesley. Keep doing your damn thing, bro. We also got Braun Breaker's contract signing that next week with Grayson Waller for New Year's bash. I guess the New Year's something. Like, got all these types of names.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Exactly. But yeah, they're having a New Year Evil, I think it is, for NXT, and Grayson Waller and homeboy Braun will have their contract signing. So that's what's going on. Also, Apollo Crews and Carmelo Hayes will be next week, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yo, okay, so let's go ahead and I know we've been an hour into the show, So
Yeah,
let's
we
go
got
ahead.
we gotta
Let's
move
go
on.
ahead and get into the blackies. So I do want to go ahead and start off with the person that you named, right? Carmelo Hayes. All right. Um, he is my male superstar of the year.
How? I mean, I love Carmelo Hayes. I love
Yeah.
Carmelo
My
Hayes.
man had the tone in his voice like, yo, the audacity.
I mean, I don't want this. Not no disrespect for Carmelo Hayes, but every wrestler in the entire industry, hey, go for it, yo, pick
Yeah,
your man.
go ahead.
Okay.
I wanna hear it. Go ahead.
Okay. So I would not. I was when asked me what Mike of the year. I mean, what that was to us. To me, it wasn't necessarily who had the most consistency on the mic. It was kind of who had the most comfortability and presence and charisma and elevated and enhanced their character on the mic. And to me, Carmelo fit that, and with that, he also elevated himself because throughout this whole year, we have been saying Carmelo needs to be elevated, and no matter what class he's been in, right?
Yeah,
Cruiserweight, he need to be North American.
Yeah.
North American need to be world champ. Like, you know what I'm saying? No matter what this nigga been at, we've saying like, yo, he needs to be elevated. And the only reason why I put him as my male superstar of the year is because he's not a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He's been around for some time. And also, like, yes, this is the blackies, and we don't just make it so where it's just black competitors. But I do want to say that my male superstar of the year has went from year to year, bell to bell, program to program. He has been the best part of that. Like a true A side, you know what I'm saying? Like a legitimate true A. No disrespect to Will Ospreay, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, you know what I'm saying? Everything of that, right? Because we talk about the storyline of what those people have carried. But I just want to say, and I want to give real life credit and give my award to the nigga that really put in the real life work, right? Because last year, who the fuck was Carmelo Hayes? You know what I'm saying? Like last year's on the black, he's like, yeah, we knew. We had an idea of what he
Last
could
year, he was
be.
my rookie of the year. Like,
You're right, right.
like he was that guy who I knew was going to be.
And if we look at this in sports, terms, though, right? If you have a really good, decent rookie season, quote unquote, the expectation is that you have a sophomore slump, right? So we get Grace in that second year. My nigga said, fuck Grace, nigga. What Grace? Like, give me the expectation, right? And in that year, right, he put, right, when this nigga started saying he put niggas on the t-shirt, when he started saying he gonna put niggas on the rafters, and when he started coming into interests and having niggas names in the fucking rafters, and when this nigga's putting on matches with Ricochet and Santos and Roddy, and like really like standing out and making Trick Williams apart, and we like Carmelo is a true A, man, and I want to give him credit before the end of the year. You know
No, absolutely. I was gonna bring him up too because he's one of the most special talent. I'm honestly talking about Mike. We want to talk about Mike Worker of the Year. He might be in that running as well. But if I have to choose somebody black, then yeah, I'm choosing Carmelo Hayes. I'll be honest with you. But I'm just talking about objectively across every industry, every wrestler. I didn't even want to start with this award. I want to finish with this award because I think it's kind of
Here we are though.
Here we are.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who you got?
Rich, who you got? I want you go first.
Man, favorite, the best male wrestler.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I could. I don't know, man. I guess just for the sake of answering, I'm gonna put Wesley there for everything that Chris just said for Melo. Like, dude went from the tag team, from being a hot tag team in NXT to
so I see what we're doing
his man getting up out of here. You know what I mean? Like, So it's like, oh, he had to trailblaze his way through in the singles. He wasn't even in the singles arena. So, you know.
I'm drunk, so this shit must be funny. But TD said, "I see what we doing." Oh my
This is why I asked you too. I need to know. Listen, man.
You put me on the spot. I didn't have a list put together. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't more prepared. But if you're gonna throw me in the fire, that's who I'm going.
You know what? Fine. I go Carmelo Wesley. Y'all got it.
Go ahead. I want to hear what your answer was.
No, how can I go against that? You know,
No,
easy, because you had an opinion before we said anything. Who did you have?
I'm not gonna be the one to say something.
No, you absolutely have to, because I didn't even have a list.
No,
I pulled that one out of hat. Like I didn't even have a list. Like I'm winging it.
Listen, and the reason why I say this is because and just I'm gonna give you yours.
We're being honestly subjective. And to be operating at the highest level, and this is no disrespect to Wesley or Carmelo. Listen,
absolutely not.
Fantastic, spectacular years. Right. You know, I just gave props to both of them just a second ago.
I know
so
y'all
know all year.
You gotta be wrong.
I'm not picking Roman Reigns. He's had a great year, maybe last year, but
thank God he did. Thank God he did. It's like picking Tom Brady as an athlete of the year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like who I pick anyways, you know, probably. But it comes down to Jon Moxley, man. The dude put the company on his back. Are you really gonna? Are you kidding me? Are you gonna act like what?
I'm just laughing at his
like he didn't?
I can't disagree.
Are you acting like he didn't put a company on his back? He came back from alcohol, you know, dude. He had a redemption angle. He came back from his struggles with alcohol abuse. Came back, talked about it on the mic. He's been stellar on the mic every step of the way. He's put on for the company every step of the way. He was champion, lost the title, got it back when they needed him at the time of need, where nobody, you know, like, come on, think about this. This year, he has been the most consistent performer in AEW and has been out of all the drama, and on top of that, overcame his own demons to have match after match after match. We just talked about the match he had this week. He had the best match of the week this week. The dude, no matter where he's put, no matter if he's on backstage on a promo, in the ring on a promo, who he's competing with, he has elevated the program every single time. And he's not been caught into all the drama, and he's been a leader for his company in a time of need. And now, granted, I haven't watched as much New Japan.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Why are you cutting me off during my time? I didn't cut you off during your time. Go ahead.
Kanye West, I'm gonna let you finish. But MJF had the best year in AEW of all time. What are you talking about?
MJF quit. MJF literally quit in the middle of AEW. And mind you, he's my favorite performer in AEW right now. I'll be honest, my favorite is a subjective opinion, though. Objectively, Jon Moxley has been the best wrestler this year. And what he's been tasked to do for a company that is literally at a time that they could have gone left or right. They had to lose Kenny Omega and CM Punk at the same time, and the Young Bucks, the three of their biggest stars at the same, and then he had to hold the fort down. He had a match with Hangman Page, used his own move to knock him unconscious, and now they're building an angle where he's like, listen, what do you think I was trying to do with that? Cut your hair or not? Like he uses his promos in a way that brings realism to his matches. Now, MJF has had a great year. Absolutely. I think he's had a fantastic year. Am I saying he's wrestler of the year? Not over Jon Moxley, in my opinion. I believe that Jon Moxley's done things outside of AEW as well, and juggling his schedule. I just have to, as much as MJF has become a star, household name this year, and he's my favorite performer in AEW right now. He makes me tune in to see him. But I can't just discount what Jon Moxley has done for the company. I'm not. And that means a lot to. And Roman Reigns has taken a lot of time off too. And if it's not Jon Moxley, it's Seth. So that's how I would say it, me personally.
Man, that's crazy.
You just said Carmelo Hayes. He hasn't had a company on his back. He's been in NXT. He's been in NXT with a bunch of other guys trying to improve himself. Now he might have been the most brightest spot in that and on that roster for a time. but he's not what he hasn't done what John Moxley's done this year.
Okay. I'm not. I don't want to be this, but I'll make my defense. Tuesdays, the only fucking reason we're watching is because Carmelo Hayes and Wesley. It ain't Braun Breaker. It ain't Mandy Rose. It ain't Alba Fire. It ain't the Creed brothers. It ain't Grayson Waller. It damn sure ain't Apollo.
Now, would you say that for everybody in like or just us?
Honestly,
Just us,
I
right?
I would say if we're talking about brands for AEW. Niggas is tuning in to see MJF, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. The beginning of this year, the feud the very first, and this is what I want. This is why I was kind of surprised when you said that, because the very first pay-per-view that AEW had this year was Revolution here in Orlando that we did not we wanted to go to, and we could have, but it was CM Punk and MJF was the beginning of this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they led to the dog collar match. Right? The dog collar match was nothing that Moxley did was bigger than CM Punk MJF leading to a dog collar match. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, MJF then had the feud with Wardlow. Right after he made Wardlow with the contract and fighting through all that, and then after that, MJF then went into a feud with, I know he took a sabbatical.
He took his ball and he went home to get paid. Listen, if you're talking about wrestler of the year to me, someone making an impact, superstar maybe of the year. Ooh, superstar, yeah, MJF right away.
CT, I understand what you're saying. Took his ball, went home, but
don't make me talk bad about my guy MJF because I can do that.
I'm not making you talk bad, but this is what I'm just saying. He took his ball and went home, and Moxley had an alcohol problem, and they both missed time. If we talking about sports,
when did Moxley come back? It was the beginning of the year.
No, okay. I'm just looking at what mattered, right? Moxley at the beginning of the year, when we talk about the programs that they had, the Revolution. The match that we had in Revolution was MJF versus CM Punk dog collar match. The match that we had with Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, which was the start of Blackpool Combat Club, right? So if we're weighing the two, MJF outweighs that, right? The second pay-per-view that they had was Double or Nothing. That pay-per-view was Wardlow MJF in a single match where they had built that program of Wardlow finally getting his hands on MJF. We got that match. On that pay-per-view, Moxley had a match with let's see, was he on the card? No, he wasn't. Moxley wasn't even on the card for Double or Nothing. Oh, yes, he was. I'm sorry. He was in the Anarchy and Arena match.
Blackpool Combat Club versus the Jericho Society.
That shit, which me and you came on and said we didn't give a fuck about, right? Okay, so I'm just right. So I'm judging off of that. So the next pay-per-view was right. This is when Moxley stepped into. He had to step into and be in against Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he finally had that match with Ace. You know what I'm saying, right? And we have Ace and Moxley. That was a really great match, and Moxley had put on for the town and put on for AEW. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we right. So that can't. That's Moxley winning over MJF. The second match that we have now is All Out, right? And this is where Moxley goes against Punk for the Undisputed Championship, right? And this is where Moxley has to, this is where Moxley loses Punk, because Moxley was interim champion, and then they gave the title back to CM Punk, which meant at the time, Moxley, you're not the fucking guy, right? Because the story that they were telling was CM Punk, MJF.
And I get the idea of what you're saying, because the people they're pushing, what they're choosing as far as booking. But I'm talking about on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis with AEW, not just the pay-per-views. the Dynamites.
Yes, I'm
What,
coming to
what he's
Dynamite.
done outside of
Dynamite to see Brock.
AEW,
I'm coming to Dynamite
all that
to see
stuff,
MJF.
the
The pro-
promos,
the-
everything
the-
he's done this week year, and I hear you. If MJF is in the top 3 for me, honestly, he's up there. Don't get me wrong, like he's that dude.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna
Is it
stop
is
y'all
is
right
it his
now.
is
I'm gonna
this his
stop.
year?
I want to stop y'all right now, okay? Because before he gave his answer, we just begged this man just to give his answer, okay? Listen, man, we are not about to badger this man for his opinion. I'm
right.
okay with it.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Because at the end of the day, regardless of how we debate it, Moxley is top 5 in that combo, debatably. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, cool. So who's next?
I'm gonna go with Moxley this year.
You go with
just
Moxley.
'cause-
Now, I'm not. I can't be too mad at that because
That's cool. I just
Yeah.
it honestly, and I know you looked at us and when we gave Wesley and Carmelo, and I heard you out and you heard me out, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because this
y'all maybe you're gonna have to choose Apollo or something. I'm like, all right, I guess I can.
no, it wasn't that. It's just when we talk about, I understand what you're saying with Moxley, right? But he didn't carry the company. Literally, I do believe this year, 2022, this year, I came to AEW every fucking time for MJF, bro.
You know what? You're
came
right.
in-
There's
I
an
came
argument
in
for our guy
every
MJF.
time for
I
MJF.
know that I'm because I didn't want to be biased and just choose my favorite wrestler. Because this is not about the favorite wrestler. This is like objectively.
No, fuck that. This the blackies. This the reasonable wrestling in the world, nigga. What are you talking about? Give your opinion. We don't give a fuck what nobody else say.
That's a
no.
fact.
I'm gonna stand on the John Moxley thing for the wrestling.
All right,
I think MJF has to do it without CM Punk. He has to do it without quitting. He has to do it without all the other stuff. This year coming up will tell me more about MJF and what his capability is to be the best wrestler in the world to me than any other year. Honestly, and we'll see if he can hold the championship and that run. So shout out to MJF. Loved everything he's done this year. Definitely top 3 wrestler of the year, but I won't say he's number 1 yet.
So with that being said, are we all in agreement that the female woman of the wrestler is Bianca Belair?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
I think that the whole world should be in agreement with that. Honestly, everybody should say that. Honestly,
ain't no debate. No, all right, cool. So we off for that one. All right, bet.
Shout out to Bianca, who's won it like 2 years in a row now. I think or 3 years. Who knows? I think we give it to her every year.
We gonna have the Bianca Belair Female Women Award, nigga.
Yeah,
nigga, that's a fact. Yeah, if we giving out trophies, it's definitely Bianca with the big brain, nigga. It's over, nigga. It's taking the combo. Next runner up.
All right, so this
best tag team.
This would I was just about to say this will cause a big debate now. Best tag team. I think honestly, I can't do what the popular people say. It got to be FTR. For me, right? I can't. I love what the Usos have done this calendar year and have been consecutive tag team champions and what they've done with the Bloodline. But as far as tag team matches and the essence of tag team wrestling, which GD loves, right? The science, right? The science of tag wrestling, right? Like even though the FTR are twins, right? They're the closest thing to twins as the Usos can be, right? Those niggas are in sync, and again, you winning 4 championships and 4 promotions in a year, and also being AEW tag team champions, or being in the conversation of AEW tag team champions and putting on matches there. You put on a classic with the Ass Boys, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gave the Ass Boys,
the classic.
You gave the Ass Boys the biggest wins of their career, nigga. That's a classic for them.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's true.
That's funny.
They worked with
the Briscoes 3 years.
The Briscoes
this year. If I'm
with
not mistaken.
The Acclaim, they put on a good match. I gotta hand it to FTR. They've had a phenomenal year, man. And if you were to ask me this 6 months ago, I would have been like, this is FTR's tag team year of the war. But I gotta go.
I gotta go with your answer.
I gotta go with the Usos, bro. I gotta go with the Usos because it's the whole thing. They're part of the biggest act in wrestling right now. They're part of the biggest act in wrestling right now. they've had the most matches out of any wrestler this year. Any wrestler in the world. The Usos, each of them. Jimmy has more than even Jay. They had the most matches wrestled than anybody wrestling this year. And they're part of the biggest act. I can't just ignore that what they've done this year. Now they've had great matches with different tag teams in WWE, whether it's New Day, whether it's they've done a lot with Street Profits. You know, they've done things with the Brawling Brutes. I loved all their matches. They have a style to them that I just loved. The 1D is now part of their finisher. I love them adding the 3D and paying homage to the Dudleys. But more than anything is the character work, man, that I've not seen this much from these guys in a long time. And what they've done individually and collectively to enhance the bloodline, because every piece of the bloodline matters. Not just Jay, not just Jimmy, not just Roman, not just Sammy. You guys have to like intertwine, and the relationships between each of us has to, and Solo, don't mean to discount him. They have to be so unique that we care, you know, and each one, any pairing of those guys is completely different dynamic than the other pairing of those guys, because their relationships are very different. And being that they're twins, you think that, oh, they're aligned. They have the same views on everything. No, the whole year, Jay has been killing Sammy, like, you know, trying to kick him out. And Jimmy's like his best friend, doing handshakes and everything, you know? The shit was dope. And that creates a dynamic where every promo, every backstage angle, every in-ring promo, every match with Sammy as, like, you know, interference or whatever maybe happen, it matters for the story they're telling. And I can't say that for FTR, even though they've had the best matches this year in the tag team division. They've had the best matches this year. But I'm bringing as a whole encompassing thing, War Games was phenomenal. That doesn't happen without the Usos and what they've done. It just doesn't. It's not as impactful. So I'm going with the Usos as the one tag team this year. And I know everybody's saying it, but I gotta agree with them this year. The Usos are in tag team of the year for me.
Yeah. I ain't gonna fight you on that.
Yeah, can't.
They're the ones.
He can't. Yeah, but FTR's had a phenomenal year as well, man. Like, listen, I do think that trilogy with the Briscoes has been probably the best tag work I've seen in so long. They're legendary. Like, all three of those matches are going to go down in history as, like, you got to go back and watch those tag teams to show what tag team work can be. Tag teams can really, you know, what they can really do. But I like also the character work. I like also, like, you know, the presentation and the superstardom that WWE presents with their tag teams, and they have made me very entertained this year. The Usos, as well, and on a very consistent basis. So I got to give it to them. What about you, Rich? You got the same?
I can't, but I mean, just for the sake of giving something different, I'll give a runner-up, and I'll put Street Profits as a runner-up. Even though they were sidelined due to injury, man, like their presence in the locker room is so dope. Is that they don't even have to be wrestling in the show. Like, they got them doing vignettes and interviews in the back. Like, and then when they came back, like, they not only did Tez get some weight, you know, the other homie slimmed down, and it was like they added moves to the arsenal, man. So I'm gonna put them in that runner-up conversation, even though, again, like I said, they got sidelined with the injury. Like, they just continue to maintain their relevance. Profits. And as soon as they came back, it was like they just picked the ball right back up. Like, nah, nigga, we still want to smoke, nigga. We still right here. So
Street Profits deserve an honorable mention for sure. I also want to give an honorable mention to the Acclaim. They've made a huge improvement over where they were last year. So shout out to the Acclaim, you know,
and the Creed brothers,
Creed brothers, absolutely.
That's on me.
Yeah, the honorable mention to the Creed brothers as well. Oh yeah, Pretty Deadly, they're doing their thing as well, you know. So shout out to them, you know, Pretty Deadly, they got their thing going on, you know. But moving on, I know Chris just dipped, but we got paid live event of the year, and it's hard for me on this one. It's really tough. Because I don't necessarily.
I got a list in front of me, so I can't even give you a list of, like, it's these five. Like, I don't know. Like, it's
WrestleMania was obviously amazing to be there. We that one day.
What was that last show that they did in Saudi Arabia?
Crown Jewel with Logan Paul and everything. Crown Jewel was good. Clash at the Castle was good. All Out was great.
we into right now. I'm sorry, my wife.
Paid live event of the
she-
year
she-
or
she-
pay per view of the year.
She spanked the baby.
Yeah.
I had to go see
Okay.
Oh
Well,
no, let her
yeah.
spank that baby. No, that's I'm proud of that. This is a proud goddaddy moment. She back there spanking ass finally. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm like,
That's
nigga,
what I'm
what
talking about.
happened? Nigga, I was like, what happened, nigga? Like, what's going on, nigga?
That's pay-per-view of the year right there. Me back there whipping ass. That's what I'm talking about. That's the turn I did not expect. I did not expect that heel turn. This is what I'm talking about.
Shout out to Ivy with the heel turn on the baby.
So we doing paper. We doing. So I was thinking we do AEW's best pay per view and WWE best pay per view because I didn't want to necessarily compare. I didn't always want to do a comparison of those two against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they are really doing right when Rich was giving his soliloquy about what wrestlers have always been doing in certain aspects. I do want to give AEW their own leash. You know what I'm saying? Because they do have a different respect and
they have their own product,
and they have and they respect our intellect a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to give them credit on that because as WWE and I want to give Triple H a little bit of credit too. Like he's not trying to he's not trying to make us feel as dumb as our previous regime has.
Nah,
but
he came in and
this is here goes my sports analogy again. I'm sorry, everything is wrestling. Look at the Carolina Panthers, right? They fire Matt Rule, right? They get the right Matt. Who the fuck is Matt Rule? They fire this nigga. They bring in Steve Wilkes, and everybody think that because they gave the black guy the job, it's going to be a tank job. Nigga, he is in chance to win the division. Right. And if you look at WWE in a situation when Vince leaves, everybody thinks like, oh my gosh, like WWE's in flux and look, the stock price is up, the ratings is up, the storylines make sense, business is still moving, right? And again, like you just have somebody that could just galvanize the troops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Steve Wilkes came in there and was like, yo, I do my job.
Somebody who's been there.
Exactly. Like he came in, Steve Wilkes came in and fired the defensive coordinator. Like, nigga, I'm the defensive coordinator, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Like, out of here. We don't need that.
Vince, you know what I'm saying? Trips came in that motherfucker and said, Bruce, go do your podcast with Conrad. You can do the podcast.
Get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah,
I got it from here. Yay, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like your services is done. You know, Johnny Laurinaitis, go ahead and go be a Bella. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mind you, Steve Wilkes was a Carolina Panther, so like he's somebody who's been there and done it.
Exactly.
And so has Triple H.
He's part of the culture.
Exactly.
He created into the culture.
But you also look at somebody in that when I bring this up to say this, and to kind of bring it together, the second half of when Triple H took ownership of WWE or the quote unquote the book, right?
Because he's turned that shit up, like,
bruh. Clash of the Champions is my pay-per-view of WWE of the year. It did not miss for me.
It didn't.
No, which one was
amazing. It was awesome. I was thinking about that too.
I'll pull a card up right now. So Clash of the Champions right now was the one in Cardiff of Wales, right? And the main event was Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, and that's when Solo Sikoa made his debut.
Yeah, that's when he made his debut. Okay.
Right. And the other match was Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. The other match was Gunther versus Sheamus in a singles match for the Intercontinental title. That was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I would the only reason why I would say that is my pay-per-view of and I'm not that is not my pay-per-view of the year. Honestly, my pay-per-view of the year is WrestleMania 1. WrestleMania Night 1. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Match of the year was on that card. And the reason why that's the reason why I bring up the trips, right? Trips kind of saw what was going on with what we wanted and gave us what we
Mhm,
wanted, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
Gunther and Sheamus is match of the year to me for
mhm.
WWE, and probably match of the year overall outside of MJF CM Punk Dog Collar. I say the story culminating into that, the promos leading into that, the match actually that happened of that, the dog collar match of seeing it propelled MJF to what he is currently right now, right? Because he beat the biggest star that is on that roster, and it in a brutally fashion. Well, I mean, it didn't beat, but Warlow came out. That again, that set the stage to everything, right? MJF is the all that. But outside of that, I think Gunther and Sheamus, because it also we had reservations of Gunther coming into the main roster. The name change. Was he going to be as physical? Was he going to do the things that we know him to be? Was he going to be the ring general? And the best opponent that he can have is Sheamus. Right? The absolute if it wasn't Cesaro, it was going to be Sheamus, right? And Sheamus invited what Gunther was or what Walter
Mhm,
was. It was like,
mhm,
give me all of that. I'm going to make
mhm,
you a fucking star. And he did with that match. So and then that goes back to the dichotomy of what difference of Vince and Triple H was. But I gotta give Vince his credit. Night one, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my shit happened. My best return happened at night one. I know I'm just rambling right now because I got the stick, but like Cody, we were there. We kind of knew, but still, to hear the fucking music,
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
it's-
crazy. I don't like we were there, and that's why I was like so biased. Like I was thinking about like, yo, it has to be
No, but
WrestleMania night
that's
one.
but that's but that's
But
part of this list though. Like Chris already said earlier, he was like, "Man, I don't want to hear that John Moxley shit. Give me your bias." Like, no, like
but my
your
bias.
bias is important though.
Do you want to hear mine? Because I think that it might be recency bias, but from beginning to end, Survivor Series War Games was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to rewatch that. I know I am. For the first time getting War Games in WWE on the main roster, it did not disappoint, man. And then the ending to it all was like, man, there was conversation about it. Like
yeah,
everybody was talking about it. Like
yeah,
it was epic. It was like a combination of like a year long story with the Bloodline, with Sami Zayn and all that stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
Bianca in the War Games match with Becky teaming up and everybody playing a role in their angles that were going on at the moment. It was awesome, man. Like top to bottom, that was to
So
me.
this is the card. This is the card. First off, women's war game was the first match.
Hmm.
Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, Mia Yim, Becky Lynch versus Damage Control of Bailey, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, Rhea Ripley.
Mhm.
Banger.
Mhm.
Second match of the night. AJ versus Finn.
Finn,
Banger.
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 Third match of the night. Ronda
Okay,
versus Shotzi.
that was a.
Okay,
That
we
was,
had to
let's
have
just skip that.
some way to this. We had to this somewhere. Okay.
All right,
Third
Get mine.
match. Theory, Rollins, Lashley.
banger.
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 Oh my
Banger.
god.
Yeah.
That triple threat was
It
fucking
was
Yep.
awesome, man.
Yep.
So it
yes.
was just top to bottom,
Yes.
man. Obviously, you
Yes.
need a break in the middle. And tell
Yes.
me one pay per view without a sleeper match. Then and maybe that's over this, but I don't believe there's one this year. So for
Mhm.
WWE, I'm going with AEW. I mean, the Survivor Series War Games. It was the pinnacle of how I used to feel when I was a kid watching WWE. I was excited going into it, left
Wow.
out very
That's
satisfied.
fire.
And and WrestleMania was awesome to just be there and experience the spectacle. I felt the same feelings came up when I was there watching it back at Airbnb for the night two was still great to me. But this was quick, it was digestible, and it was awesome. Like
It
from
was. It was. And
it was awesome.
and I can attest, and then to kind of wrap off my night one and my pick of the night. Night one, we had Usos versus Shinsuke and Rick Boogs, and Rick Boogs ripped his knee up that night, so that wasn't necessarily a nice night for him.
Yeah.
Then we had Drew
Shout out to
McIntyre.
Rick Boogs.
We had Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. You know, that's a Logan Paul's first match with The Miz. Very surprising against
That
the
was a
Mysterio.
good match. Yeah.
That was very surprising.
Speaking of Logan Paul, he's my rookie of the year, and I know that might be controversial,
No,
but
go no.
that is my rookie of the year.
Bro. I can't hold you on that, nigga. Like, listen, Bad Bunny was it for last year for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
So there you go. You know, like
yes, he was.
coming
and I,
in-
and I ain't laughing. Yes, he was.
all right,
and I
then
ain't
we all
laughing.
agree on
That's
rookie
real.
of the year.
So-
Handing
so-
Logan Paul.
So, but my interest of the year happened during my pay-per-view of the year. And the only reason why this is my pay-per-view of the year is because, yes, I am biased. But Bianca and Becky was a great and a phenomenal match. But my interest, right? Bianca came out with the HBCU motherfucking marching band.
Yo, amazing.
Came out motherfucking repping. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, and that's what I mean about being at WrestleMania, right? You kind of don't get that real feel if it's not WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
It's a
So
little different, man.
that's my interest. That's my interest of the year. But Bianca and Becky had a match, but
We could choose WrestleMania every year, like, you know, potentially.
no,
But-
we can't because night 2 was not night 1, brother. Night 2
Night
was not
two?
night 1.
you
brother.
don't think so? You wasn't with it?
No, listen, Seth, Cody was that night. Listen, this is what we talk about night 1, bro.
Yeah. Night one was special.
Bianca was night 1.
Yeah.
Cody Seth was night 1. Austin KO was night
Austin
1.
KO,
bruh.
yeah.
Nigga.
We got the right ticket, dog. we did. So yeah.
Yo,
But,
Rich, what was your pay-per-view of the
Before
year?
you came out here, man, I was sitting there like I don't even remember all the pay-per-views, man. So I ain't even going. Like I wanted to say that last Saudi joint because I remember that by the end of that night I was like, damn, this is an actual Saudi joint that I actually like.
Crown Jewel.
Yeah, Crown Jewel was
Yeah.
awesome.
That joint I
Hold on,
like.
let me-
Run through that list. 'cause
Logan
I don't
Paul and
remember.
Roman.
Logan
Paul
Paul
and
Roman was
invented.
fucking flame, nigga.
Yep, go
Okay,
ahead.
so I run it through. We had Brock Bobby. That was the first match.
Mhm.
Yeah, banger.
We had Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Alexa Bliss and Asuka for the tag titles. We
Okay,
had Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Cross in a steel cage.
okay.
We also had Judgment Day versus the OC. We had Braun versus Omos. We
Okay.
had Usos versus the Brawling Brutes, Bianca versus Bailey, last woman standing match, and Roman versus that was a banger pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
Yeah. That's a good now.
And it wasn't like it was tens across the board, but it was entertaining from start to finish. Like it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily any beer moment. You know what I mean? Like okay, I could run to the store and get
I
some
like
beer.
that.
Like everything pretty much was like, oh no, this is a match I kind of want to watch, and everything delivered. So
Mhm.
I'll go with that one just because I actually remember it. But
All right.
Nah, that's a good one.
Now that we're done with pay-per-views, actually no, wait, let me finish my AEW one.
Go
My
ahead.
AEW one. Let me just make sure I look at them again because I did think that the first one this year was the best one.
Revolution.
Not yeah, Revolution.
Yeah, I think it had Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho,
Yeah,
Jungle Express versus Red Dragon, versus the Young
Yeah,
Bucks, the
that
triple
was
threat.
awesome.
Yeah, Wardlow versus in the TNT ladder match, Jay Carter versus Ty Conti, CM Punk versus MJF Dog Collar, Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. That was fire. Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. We had Darby, Sammy Guevara, and Sting versus Andrade and all them niggas.
It was awesome. but honorable mention though. Honorable mention goes to Forbidden Door. That was a great one too. And to pull that off, I thought was amazing for wrestling.
Yes. I would, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. to be honest, um, I will say for me, we talk about just recency bias. I'm gonna go with, and I love without a shadow of a doubt what fucking Forbidden Door did for the business. But I'm gonna go with Full Gear
Full
for
Gear.
Full Gear.
Okay.
And only because as we stated, for the year that MJF had, you know what I'm saying? For them to be like, yo, this is your moment to captivate it, right? We also had Jade versus Nyla Rose, her first big test. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
had Joe, wore little powerhouse Hobbs. In that match, we had Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm. We had the
Mhm.
Acclaim versus Swerve for Our Glory. We also had Death Triangle versus the Elite in the first of the 7 matches that they've had. Jungle Boy
Mhm.
versus Luchasaurus. You know what I'm saying? Like it culminated a lot of things and it started a lot of things. And I really appreciate again the storytelling that was involved and the match quality of Full Gear. So I want to go ahead and give shout out for the recency bias.
Yeah. Full Gear was good. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel you on that. But let's go to match of the year. I know we got a couple more dates before we end this pod, but match of the year, I got a couple I want to list. Sheamus and Gunther, you mentioned, should be on that list. Um, Hell in a Cell, Cody, Seth, man,
That's
that
that.
might
That
be
was
my
it for
pick.
me.
That
That
might
was my
be
pick. That was my
that
pick.
might
So
be my pick. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like,
nah,
oh, that's
it
an
don't.
easy
It
pick,
don't. It don't.
but
It don't. It
dude,
does not. It does not.
top. Okay,
It's
wait.
it's it's
We
it's
got
just no.
FTR, all the freaking battles with Briscoes, match of the year, quality.
Mhm.
Shoot, man, off the top of my head, listen, that Cody thing just seared in my
That's it.
brain.
But that's because again,
And
how
War
long ago?
Games,
How long ago was that? How long ago was that match?
that was in May.
So again, we just 2 seconds ago, Chris was talking about recency bias. We don't even have a recency bias. That's how good that match was, bro.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
even that's how good the match was. Also, just remembering, right? We like fuck Cody Torres pet,
Bruh,
right? Like just
bruh.
yeah,
like the
Like,
momentum, like the momentum in the
yeah,
air that
man.
came out the balloon of what we thought Cody was, right? And then the fact that it was like, no, the match is still gonna continue. And when he took that fucking robe off, and the whole crowd was like, ooh, like my wife was like, "That's a great makeup job," and I'm like, "Listen, sweetie,
nigga, that is not makeup.
real. Like
That
that,
is
like
not makeup,
it's a lot of fake shit that happened in wrestling, baby.
nigga.
And he can't really lose his right arm right now. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And then she like, well, why is he doing this? And I'm like, for the love of the game.
nigga,
You know
because he
what I'm
do
saying?
this, nigga, because his last name is Rhodes. That's
Yeah,
why.
man.
So like
He
that was crazy.
he earned every stripe in the book in that match, and then the
Oh
match
yeah,
was actually a good match,
yes
because
it
it had
was.
played into, a real life injury, all
Mm.
that stuff, and Seth played
And
such a great heel. He
Seth
wore
was the
Dusty Rhodes
perfect
colors, like
opposition, man.
perfect, So it wasn't just because of the injury. Like they actually,
That
he could have had
story,
injury,
the
and it
story
could
in
have
its
still been like a good
entirety,
match,
bro.
but they
The
didn't.
story in its
See,
entirety.
this match contains my comeback of the year. I love Bray. And
Come back of the year.
I love Bray and I love Punk, but I love the fact that because listen,
Let's go. Give Cody his roses.
I'm giving Cody his roses because nah, fuck you, Cody.
You got
What are you
That's
talking
what, so you gonna give it to him, and he ain't even had a match yet.
Yeah,
No,
the match, yeah.
I'm only giving blowback. Like I'm not mad at that choice at all. You
But
know what I mean?
okay,
But
and this is why it's a tie. This is Steve McNair. This is Steve McNair, Peyton Manning, 2003 MVP.
Listen, man, you're talking to a Bray Wyatt fan. I understand, dude.
This
I
is
understand.
This is Cole
and that's why I said
MVP.
I can't go against it because I'm a fan. I've been waiting for it, but I'm like, damn, my man ain't even fought this year, bro.
But when you talk about
Not
that,
one
when you
match.
talk about that Hell in a Cell match, Seth, this is why I had to give Carmelo my man of the year because of the elevation of him and the character and who he has been and everything like that.
Mhm.
We knew who Seth was, but his mic work this year has been impeccable. Like
We
it
talking about
has
Seth?
been, yes. Seth mic work, like his promo game, right, whether he's heel or tweener right now, which he is, right? He has made us interested in every fucking syllable, which is something that Bray used to be able to do. But honestly, in this time frame, Seth has been a more, not saying coherent, but he has been a more reliable source
makes
of,
he makes
you know what I'm
he,
saying? Like, you know what I
he
mean?
makes
Like,
every detail count. He like
He
he
does.
is like every
and
detail
he,
with him
he only
count.
makes it count because it is also enhanced with him in the ring, right?
Right.
Not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
the
you
promo
believe
work
it.
of the promo work of Seth helped the comeback of the year for Cody because that whole leading up to, nigga, it's WrestleMania. I'm the fucking best in this company. I
Yeah.
need a fucking opponent. I'm ruining every fucking moment
Yeah.
of TV until I get a fucking opponent. And all the while, these niggas is in the background making the biggest comeback of fucking wrestling history. Because again, this is a former EVP of a rival of a
Yeah.
company
Yes.
that,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, this nigga
And
Cody.
and to add to that, he left this company because you motherfuckers wasn't giving him the shine in the first place.
Yeah, and he
I remember
and
me and Chris
Hold on.
used to have these conversations before, like, yo, man, like, I wish they would give this nigga his due. Like, this nigga went through so many characters
yo
in
crazy.
WWE.
But not
Yes.
even, but not even that though. This is the thing. In AE, this goes back to Dax, right? Cody pigeonholed himself into not being able to succeed in a place that he created. Because he said that he did not want to be Jeff Jarrett. He did not want to be Triple H. He did not want to be Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair. He did not want to be a person
Jeff
that
Jarrett.
had a power of influence that then goes ahead and gives himself the top position in the company. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did not want to be that, which again, nobody really gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody.
But I respect it because he easily could have
Right.
done that, you know.
Exactly.
And I think that people would have then started to give a fuck over
Exactly.
time. You know, I think
Exactly,
having the
nigga.
honor to say, "Listen, I'm going to leave this alone. I'm never going to be AEW champion because I'm too influential here." And then and he's getting booed out, trying to turn heel. He's not turning heel. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do the move for me is to go back to WWE, and boom, he's the biggest baby face in the world. Like it's just so crazy how a place of scenery, change of scenery can change the entire player. You know,
Nigga, Geno Smith is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
he is a 70%, 71% completion rate.
Bruh.
This is my
I know you
I've
hot.
always believed
I
in this
know
dude.
you hot. I
Yo,
know you
I'm not
hot.
hot. I'm not hot. I want him. I'm
Stop
happy for
lying.
him.
Stop lying. I
He's
know
in
you
NFC.
hot.
He's in the NFC, not the AFC. So if he was in the AFC, maybe. But I'm
I
good.
know you hot. 'Cause you sitting there like, man, where was this
Like
Geno?
a quarterback, nigga. You in the playoffs.
Dude, he was immature. He got his jaw broke as a quarterback. He's not a leader. He wasn't a leader then, but now he is. He grew up. You know, and Zach might have to get him knocked out too, and then come back to another team. You never know. And New York is not the place for young people to freaking thrive and just learn.
Man.
No, we don't want that shit. We want you to know your shit.
Justin Fields with a dryer that's a jet.
We don't know.
Yes,
we
he would've.
you know, I think he would have ran the ball a lot still, but can he pass? I mean, we'll see. You know?
Listen, what can he pass?
Yeah, yo,
Bro,
his
you
completion
see what he's
percentage
doing
ain't
with
that
no
high.
receivers in Chicago? Nigga, you got
Oh,
weapons there in the
receivers.
Jets.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
And you
Maybe
got
we-
weapons in the Jets,
Maybe
bro.
we
He
picked the
would be
wrong
a
quarterback, but let's
he
not
would
get
be
into
a
a Jets
4,000
conversation.
yard
I'm
passer
comfortable with
as a
it.
Jet,
Listen,
bro.
we'll get into Lamar Jackson in the offseason. If not, we'll get
the Dolphins, bro.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. He coming to the Jets from New York, big town.
Hey,
big
he
city.
tired of the cold. He definitely going to Miami.
Yo, if he goes to
He's sick of this
Miami,
shit.
yo, I'm gonna shoot somebody. I swear. Yeah, but for
Oh,
real,
my
like,
goodness.
no, the change of scenery did wonders for Cody Rhodes, and
Absolutely. It was the
he
perfect
got
storm.
injury.
That was literally
Perfect.
all
storm,
of that
like you
was
said.
literally the
Yeah.
perfect storm, man. It really
And
was.
and I think that over time, I do believe that it's going to pay off with him being champion one day. He's a second generation talent, comeback of the year, and match of the year, and he hasn't wrestled half of the year. Think about that. So because he's been injured, so he'll hopefully returns at the Royal Rumble. We'll see that.
Pull up a John Cena return at the Rumble, brother.
That'll be epic. That'll be awesome. It's gonna be nuts. But that's that we have the turn of the year and controversy of the year as well. Anything else other than that?
No, I think that's how we're gonna wrap up. So the turn.
All right, we'll do the turn of the year.
Face to heel or heel to baby face. So I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and take the reins on that.
I know who I think.
Man, if this was radio, they would cut us off the air.
That's a fact.
I was waiting for y'all. Shit, I just gonna let us.
Go ahead. Go
listen,
ahead.
Listen. It comes down to
I
go because listen, I want to give one for each babyface because I think babyface turns don't get no love. I think that it's an art to doing it. I think that Wardlow's babyface turn was great. And also Becky Lynch and Seth but out of babyface turns, I'm going to give it to Wardlow, man. That was told so freaking well, and MJF was a great person to tell it, and the way he just demeaned him over time, and then eventually had that match. But for heel turns, I've been waiting for this shit for like 2 years or since he got here. Dominic heel turn was the best of the year to me. I was waiting for it. We finally got it, knocked his dad out, and we're seeing it play all long term. With him going to Thanksgiving, beating up his dad.
I definitely got mine.
Oh, Finn?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh, no, it ain't. It's not Finn.
Oh, okay.
It's a.
I was just gonna give quick opposition to Mysterio because I'm glad for the turn. I just need my man to add some charisma. Like he's like I need him to sell it. Like he's just. He kind of has the look, he can't do but too much because he got the baby face, right? Yeah. But it's like, I just want him to like come out in some ripped jeans or something, like look kind of badass. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and when he talks, it's unbelievable. It's like, yo, bro.
You know what he can do though? He got the drip. Honestly.
Yes.
He got the Louis, he got the Gucci, he got the Off-White. You know what I'm saying? He got the Rue. He got all the design. He got the
nigga. If he tuned into how his pops was the heel and some Razor Ramon, this nigga would through the roof, nigga.
Some Razor Ramon machismo would be crazy,
fam. Oh my god, because you already got the little. Come on, man. So
yeah, I think he does need a lot of work, but I just know that he's never gonna be a big baby face because his dad is the biggest one of all time. It's like he's never gonna be the biggest.
I think he'd be a great. I think he'd be a good heel.
Yeah,
I think he can be. I think he can be. My choice is what you want to go.
Go, cuz.
I got one for each. I'm as far as turning to a face. I got Bobby Lashley. And then as far as turning to a heel, I'm gonna say Ronda Rousey.
Okay. I like that. I like those.
And I'm saying to both of those because I've been wanting and expecting both of those turns for months prior to the turn. Like, and it's not that Ronda's doing anything spectacular, but because of who she is and how she already came into the industry, like the heel just fits her better. So it's like you don't need a whole lot of mic work. You put Baszler behind her. It was like, yo, this is what the fuck I needed. Like, just be a badass and be a heel. Like, I don't need the kids cheering for you. So yeah, I'm going with those two.
I must say, this might be a little bit controversial.
I like controversy.
But my heel to baby face turn of the year is gonna be Edge.
Okay.
When he started off with Judgment Day, it was like, come on, nigga. Like, you had the biggest pop at Royal Rumble, nigga. Like, what's going on with you? And then he came back and got right and got his wife behind him, and everything's copacetic right now with Edge as a baby face. You know what I'm saying? So Edge from heel to baby face is mine. But from baby face to heel, Athena.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one coming. Okay, Athena. That's very recent, and I think I love it. I love it too.
Athena babyface to heel is so necessary, man, and it made her the Ring of Honor Women's Champion to end the year. So that was super significant to her character. So I just want to give a shout out to Athena for that. So that's my turn of the year now. You know what I'm saying?
I love all our picks, you know, but and I'm glad we all have different picks. Like that's the dopest
Yeah,
part
that's
about it.
dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, but we remember our shit, you know, like the Wardlow turn was so like drastically done over time. Athena's just recently, you know, was like, you know, it started on Dark, for instance, you know, like, and everybody happened in different ways. But I love how, you know, we have each different, we can remember, okay, this is a moment this character got better for me. And I think that's what a turn is supposed to do. Is enhance a character from where they were at, refreshing real quick.
Exactly.
But there's been a lot of controversy, and they say controversy creates cash, you know. So let's talk about the controversy you're talking, you know, right now. All year, it's been crazy. You know, there've been different things popping up in the wrestling world where, you know, people got shit to say, and there's a lot of just things to talk about, you know, and it's been entertaining for us fans. But I think the biggest controversy of the year has, you know, you guys not gonna agree. And this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one.
Let me hear this shit. Let me hear this shit.
And CM Punk on a media scrum cursing out his entire company. That shit was funny as hell. Yo, I was watching it and I started cracking up, dying laughing. Listen, this is a personal favorite. This is not even like objective. This is just like when that shit happened, I was rolling. He called out the dude's freaking bank account. He said he has his mother's bank account. He called out the EVP, said they couldn't run a target. Like, yo, this shit was fucking priceless, yo. He nearly tanked the entire company right after winning the championship on their biggest pay-per-view of the year. The dude, it was hilarious, dog. But it definitely had a fallout that just trickled on. The fight happened afterwards. Somebody got bit. Like, yo, it was ridiculous. So the just the talk afterwards was just. I know there's that other controversy that, you know, shook up the other company, but this one right here was the most entertaining for me.
Which is absolutely the biggest controversy. What are you talking about? Nigga, we have been living 30 plus years, every one of us on this screen, 30 plus years. And we said the only way that Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. would not run the WWE is if he was fucking dead.
Here we are today, and here we are.
Like in a fucking cold ass casket, reincarnated dead, nigga. And no, he's alive on like dinner and lunch dates right now. Where like bitches, and shit. Like just like and business is like Jay would say, pick it up. Damn it,
nigga. Linda acts like she don't even know the nigga. When they ask her about it, she's like, "What? Who?"
His controversy is the best thing that has happened to wrestling since this nigga took over WWF in 19 whatever the fuck it was. Nigga, are you shitting me? Listen, man, I'm with you. That shit might have been entertaining, but this is the best shit that is.
No. You guys are right. No, you guys. Listen, I was just being. I just wanted pod content, honestly, because that shit was hilarious. But listen, I was being contrarian. But listen, there's no way that we can go against the allegations against this man, causing the company to do an investigation.
My man tried to hold on to his job. This nigga hung around for like 3-4 weeks after that shit. We was like, nigga, if you don't go.
This nigga came out strutting. Welcome.
I just want to tell everybody here, we are one big family. I said, nigga, if you don't get this motherfucker off my screen,
right now forever together, right?
This nigga is the grandfather that you tell all your homegirls do not go and hug, nigga. Don't hug.
Oh my God, don't hug that nigga. He's staying in that back room for a reason.
It really is what we never expected, man. We never expected Vince to
Oh
be
man,
not leading the company, and it's honestly has changed the business forever, honestly,
for
and
the
since
for
he's
the good,
for the
for
good
the
in a
good.
sense, and rightfully so. I think he's gotten to a point where he doesn't need to be the head of the company anymore. He's so old. Like, let's be real, the dude's very old,
And his
and
way of thinking is just outdated, man.
it is a little bit.
It was the
If I
it
was
was the
running this
time for change,
podcast as an
man.
old man, you wouldn't want to hear my content conversations about it because it would be not connected to whatever is going on in the present with the young cats. And I think that he kind of got lost in that a
Damn,
while
Chief,
ago.
you might have to wrap it up because you just said the young cats, nigga, and the only person that
What's wrong with saying the young cats? I think that's exactly what people.
Only old niggas say the young cats.
I mean,
I'm
should
not
I
trying
should
to
I should I
embrace that.
should
I'm
I
not
should I
trying to
hang it
embrace
up? Should
that
I
title yet.
should I hang it up now? Like, I mean, should I?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that what you're saying now?
Yeah,
Jeez,
might
I'm
as
talking
well
about
call
Vince
them.
being old. Damn, I
Might as
can't
well
connect with
call
the
them
what.
Thundercats.
What do
Young
you want me?
Thundercats.
You want them the young boys? What do you want me to call them? Yo, Jesus. Okay, what's a better terminology? You give me one. What will you say?
The younger guys. The younger
Younger
guys.
guy?
Yo, I don't
Keep
know, but my nigga said the young cats, and that could
it.
Ain't that funny? but yeah, the
Definitely
young
sounded
cats.
like
Listen,
Quincy Jones just now. Old as hell.
oh,
listen,
man.
but nah, that's and we have the course of history has been changed. Course of wrestling has been changed for forever. I know he's trying to weasel his way back in, but yo, we ain't having it, bro. Vince, keep your ass away, earn your money, live out your days, be with your grandkids, and fuck some young girls, and do
No,
your
no,
own
no,
thing.
no, 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 no. Stop. Don't say that.
Not, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
I
gonna-
know, but
We know, but the
we know.
listeners don't. Yeah.
Okay,
Listen,
so Vince,
the girl he's dating right now is
women
definitely like
is not
20,
the
30 years
same
younger than him.
age as
That's what I
Linda
mean.
McMahon.
He's not messing with those girls. Come on, Vince is not messing with no girls' age as Linda McMahon. Just check forget it. You know what? He's messing with 50-year-olds, 40 years old, 30 years old. They're younger than him.
Yeah, let's
for
let's
sure.
go ahead and slide out this
Yeah,
conversation. Was that everything, fellas? As far as the
Before we be
little
the controversy of the year, in this
nigga, let's segue out of that. they're on board with Vince fucking
You know what?
girls.
You know what? You know what? You guys are the worst. Honestly, you guys make me feel. You guys pretty much put me in the center of all this shit and make me look bad on this podcast. I see what it is. And going into the new year, you guys don't gotta highlight what I'm saying. You guys gotta embrace what I'm saying. Move forward. Be progressive. Listen.
How I
Vince-
put your
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's better. Yeah, that's
Listen.
there you go.
Listen, I feel you guys jumping me. That's all good. It's all good. But when it comes down to it, y'all know what I mean. I'm not saying young girls. Listen, honestly, always consensual. Find some girls, chill, hang your rest of your
That's
years
some age.
out.
Of age.
Age.
That's
Jesus.
what's important.
You guys,
That's what's important.
yeah, you know that I'm saying that, right?
I do, but the viewers might not.
There's nobody listening.
I can't hear you, Chris.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Find just stay away from the freaking WWE, and going into the new year, I think that I'm excited. With this landscape, we've had a lot of shakeup this year. It's been a new era in a sense in WWE. The legends we have currently right in front of us are the ones who we kind of forget that have been here for so long, like the Romans, the Seths, the John Moxleys, the Bobby Lashley's, the Brock Lesnar's. They've been here doing this for like 10, sometimes 15 years, some of these guys. And eventually we won't see them. They'll be moving on too, but enjoy them while we have them. So the next year, the Edge came back, even him. AJ Styles, these guys are the guys who are like having the industry on their back. The Daniel Bryans, Brian Danielsons. So respect the elders in the game going into the new year and what they're performing, because I believe that they are setting the foundation for these young cats who I've seen flourishing, like the Carmelos coming up, like the top flights we talked about, like the Wardlows. All these guys need somebody to stand on their shoulders with. The Chris Jerichos and Ricky Starks, what they're doing out there. So I think there's a changing of the guard happening on all fronts in wrestling. And I just want you to peek an eye out into the next year and see what happens. MJF right now, AEW champion, 23 years old. Is it 23 or 24?
Austin Theory is gonna be
Austin Theory. It's just these young cats coming in here and going to take over the game soon. And there's going to be a new Shield, not necessarily the Shield, but a new big, act that are going to take over from these guys. And just look out for it because it's going to happen soon. What do you guys have predictions for next year, for 2023? Anything? Any bold takes?
Carmelo will be a world champion. I think that shout out to Dragon Lee being introduced to NXT. Dragon Lee and Wesley will put on a banger of a North American Championship match, or Dragon Lee and Axiom will be a phenomenal match. But I think my biggest, boldest prediction is that Gunther will be a WWE, will challenge Roman, or will be a world champion. I think that has to happen, whether Gunther challenges Cody Rhodes or Gunther challenges Roman Reigns when they split up the title. I think he is a world champion. And on the AEW side, Hangman gotta stay healthy. Hangman gotta stay healthy for him to be a real legitimate catalyst to AEW. If not, he'll be in WWE as well. That's my prediction.
My wild take is that Ricky Starks is going to become more of a star, and I think that he will usurp MJF as a top heel at some point in the company within the next year.
Wow, top heel, not top babyface. Crazy.
I think he's top babyface now, like low key. I think he's becoming that, if not now already. But
you hear that Darby Allin pop, my man? I'll hold the horses look bad.
Okay. I mean, top heel, Ricky Starks. I'm telling you, it's good luck. I'm telling you.
Also, another prediction: FTR will be in WWE. Top prediction: Adam Cole will be in. Will perform.
And Jay Cargill will be a women's champion. Enough of this TNTBS shit.
No.
Get that look.
Chris Statlander and Jay Cargill 2023 is definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Is Chris Statlander the one to take her out to beat her undefeated streak? Okay.
Chris the Stallion coming back off an injury will be the one to put that one.
Chris the Stallion.
Chris the Stallion.
Wow.
With the K, not me.
No, of course.
I certainly hope not.
I mean, if Cheaty got to cover his bases, so do I, nigga. Like, don't put me in the middle of shit,
nigga. All right. But yeah, man, I think that's it, man. It's been a great hell of a year of wrestling. Honestly, I think the wrestling is getting better. It's been a hell of a year. I can't come in here, and I'm not coming here and complaining every week because the product is actually good. The product is actually performing well. And I just see wrestling going big places moving forward. I see us going big places moving forward. We're gonna still be here every single week on 420 on Thursdays for the time being. I wish you guys well. My brothers here and you guys listening, whoever's listening, and just have a happy new year and set your goals and stick to them. You don't gotta be. It doesn't gotta be a new year and a new year, a new you and a new year. It has to be a better you. So, new year, better me. How that's how it goes. Anything else you guys gotta say?
Nah, man, you gotta end it on something a little cocky, like, man, fuck all them other podcasts that's talking that wrestling shit. Cause they
I can't say that. No. I do want to say, how we started it before we got into this joint. We did not know that we thought that we were unique, but we weren't. So I just want to shout out to everybody actually that help us push us. Shout out to Public Enemy Podcast. Shout out to Black Wrestling Podcast. Shout out to the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast. Black Announce Table, A Show, that Wrestling Podcast, Jobber-Tears, you know what I'm saying? Grassfooty, shout, you know what I'm saying? They just interviewed Tony Khan, you know what I mean? Like it honestly, there are podcasts, cause
You just fucked up everything. I get what you saying, bro. Like that, I cut a whole
promo.
bloodline
Listen, listen, and you're right, and you're right, and you're right. But above all else, shout out to the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah,
we've been doing this for 3+ years, and we got a whole brand going. EIWshop.com.
I still got to get one of them hoodies. That same joint you got on, that white look icy.
Yeah, the white is dope.
But I can't. I hear you, cause cutting the promo. But I want to say, like, listen, in our lane, right? What we do, there is a level of, again, we are the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, right? We're not too caught up in it. We're not, but I'm sorry, we have not mentioned a Stardom or a New Japan wrestler or match at all. But we ain't watched that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we hate those other podcasts because we just ain't got the time or the capacity. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not trying to be anybody, but more power to everybody else doing this. It's not easy. The content game, it's a job.
It pushes us because when we see other people doing what we do and they are elevated, we are then we are that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the guys that's also supporters doing this content game. Like shout out to MVP that's been on, Low Key, Wesley, Matt Riddle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas that we had on, a lot of niggas ain't, had the opportunity to grace that way. You know what I'm saying? So, but also listen, I'm the fucking most high. I don't think there's a motherfucking podcast that can outsmoke me. I can say that. You know what I'm saying? And if there is one, meet me in LA. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there. You did. If you think you can outsmoke, if you think that you are a wrestling podcast and you can outsmoke, look at you see my fucking eyes right now? Come on, nigga. Matter of fact,
I thought I had a pack of papers in here. I was gonna hold up the papers while you talk your shit. I need the papers. Go ahead and put it.
I gave my last papers away, so
I know Chris got them, but it would have been dope if I could have held them up while he was talking shit. But you gonna have to hold up the papers while you talk.
You know what I'm gonna hold up? Hold on.
Don't tear it up though.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I am the biggest roller iron toe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is me.
Yep.
You know,
and that is not Osama bin Laden. That is Chris.
That
is Chris, the Most High. You keep it correct.
I'm not gonna hold you. When I was in my so I went to the Dan Le Batard joint. We can get out of here just on a light note because we could talk shit. Yeah, when I was at the Dan Le Batard joint, Moss Miami. Shout out to the Dan Le Batard show. I love them niggas. They inspired the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Them shout out to white people. You know what I'm saying? They're the only niggas that do this shit. But they're not the only people that do this shit. Cause shout out my niggas. My niggas be, me, and they do this shit too. When I didn't have a haircut and I had the beard, right? Motherfuckers walked up to me and asked me, "Was I Ed Reed?" You know what I'm saying?
Ow.
That's what I'm saying. I'm 5'4". You know what I'm saying? Like who they think? I would be like, if I'm Bob Sanders,
you should have been like, yeah, I'm ready to read. You want an autograph?
Like, bro, you know what I mean?
Yo,
man. Honestly, I am the motherfucking Most High. You did, and I did all that shit to empty out my bowl so I can take a motherfucking bomb rip because that's what I'm about to motherfucking. If you think that you can, I'm not gonna say we talk the best wrestling. Because we might not. We talk what we talk. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is if you think that you can outsmoke me, nigga, meet me in fucking LA for WrestleMania and we can motherfucking do the damn thing.
Well, he might not say, but I will. I talk the best wrestling. And if you think you can outtake me, come see Chitty Bang in Dallas, or no, in LA, Read the Wrestling Podcast. We're bringing on a podcast. You can debate me anytime, any place. You can get it. I'm going to raise hell, and you're probably going to lose the debate. All right? But with that being said, all is love. And everything is wrestling. Happy 2022. and have a fantastic, wonderful, joyous, successful, relaxing, and peaceful 2023. Spread love, spread respect. Listen, it's all jokes here. The wrestling environment has been more inclusive than ever. Talk your shit.
It's been more toxic than ever too.
It's been toxic. I mean, hopefully we can't gotta be as toxic. People are deleting their Twitters every single week now. But you guys don't have to be a part of that. If y'all one of the real ones, show the love, show the respect, and tap in with everything is wrestling. EIW Shut Up and fuck with Reason Wrestling Podcast here every week on Thursdays. Listen, we'll be back next year. We love y'all for supporting. Shout out to the Spotify listeners. Shout out to the iTunes listeners. Shout out to the freaking SoundCloud listeners all across the globe. Y'all know who y'all are. Day one. Shout out to Rich. Day one in the flesh. Thank you for coming here and sharing this time for us at the end of the year. But yeah, it's been one hell of a year.
Cowboys lock in, beat the shit out of the motherfucking Titans, nigga.
Oh man, y'all losing tonight.
Listen,
if
the Cowboys lose tonight, I'm already drunk. I'm coming back on YouTube and I'm lighting their ass up.
Can't wait.
As you should. If they lose tonight, absolutely.
If they lose tonight, the Most High is logging on to Reasonable Wrestling Live, and I'm lighting their ass up.
And when we start the NFL podcast, then we can talk some Jets, because I got a lot to say, but it's all good. We don't gotta do that today.
So does the resident Bills fan. He has plenty of shit to talk, because you've been real quiet these past few weeks.
Hold on.
You know it.
Reasonable Football 2023 coming soon.
Listen, man, I need to trademark that real quick, man.
Reasonable Football 2023, baby.
Well, much love, much respect to all you guys listening, and for all y'all out there, have a great holiday. And we are out. All love, everything's wrestling.
Peace.
Peace. See y'all next year.